there, finds a little bit of open space off to his right down the center of the field here, able to grab a big-time gain for the Yellowjackets.
Good job by the safeties there from Wheeling just to force Hill to the outside and give Scrivener the chance to chase him down. The snap comes back. Devin Cox into the game. They fake the handoff for him. Jackson rolling right, throws right for T.J. Gregory, who was held by the corner, J-Mo Walker the fourth. The pass ball's incomplete, but a flag down, and West Virginia State will get some free yardage.
Yeah, cornerback there, Walker just grabbing onto the hand there. Obvious pass interference here, and that's going to be some positive yardage into the red zone for this state offense.
First passing attempt of the day for Caleb Jackson. And having a little trouble with the officials, Mike, as we get things started today, but it is a 15-yard pass interference penalty that will bring the ball down to the Wheeling 10-yard line. 13:05 on a stop clock here in this first quarter as West Virginia State will set up first down and goal. So a couple of carries for Hill, including the big run, and then the pass interference penalty sets the Yellowjackets up in business. Four-man front for Wheeling as Jackson comes out. Two receivers left, single to the right, with Devin Cox, the running back, to his left. He'll look to the sideline for a change of the play. Tight end Jax McCarty out there for the last couple snaps here for West Virginia State. He's offset to the left of the formation. Wheeling now creeping up, looking to show some pressure as the snap comes back. Jackson hands it off for Cox, running behind left guard Justice Hutchison, squirts forward for a couple of yards, brought down right around the 7-yard line. Gain of 3 on first down will bring up second and goal from the 7. 12:50 left in this scoreless first quarter. They'll spot him down at the 8-yard line, so call it second and goal from the 8 as Jackson looks over to the sideline for the play call. This West Virginia State team will rarely huddle. They've got a single receiver left in Amari Airy, two to the right with Mosley in the slot and Gregory wide to that side. And Gregory comes in motion tight to the formation. The snap to Jackson. He'll drop to throw. Jackson with time, stepping up. Jukes away from one defender. Now will go for a run. Tries to get away from a second, but is driven down near the 5-yard line. Just didn't see much open downfield. Tried to get away from Dylan Newman, but the redshirt freshman linebacker had him squared up, and West Virginia State will face third down and goal.
Good job there by Caleb Jackson, just recognizing the breakdown there, just having to find some way to get some positive yardage. Gets probably back to the original line of scrimmage there, so no loss of yards. But does bring up a third down now for the state offense.
3 minutes gone here in this first quarter. It'll be third and goal from the 6-yard line. State going with a heavy set here. Extra offensive lineman on the field, David Dawson. We've seen this quite a bit. He lines up to the left. H-back Johnson to that side as well. Hill in the game at running back with Jackson, who gets the snap and hands it off for Hill. Trying the left side. Hill cuts back inside over the 5-yard line, tripped up and stumbles forward to the 4. He was grabbed around the ankles by Jefferson Bratanis Deska. And that'll bring up fourth down, and it will bring on the field goal team for West Virginia State.
Hill just not able to get enough open space there on that left side. Kind of had to cut back into the middle there, ran into some traffic there, and a good stop there for Wheeling. Going to force the three-point attempt here.
Tony Hornbuckle on for the kick. Jacob Camacho the holder, and the snap will come from Will Seitz. This ball just inside the left hash. It'll be a 21-yard attempt. The snap down. And the kick is up. The kick is good. Tony Hornbuckle hit a 40-yarder last week at Concord. A chip shot from 21 here gets West Virginia State on the board for the first time today. 3-0, the Yellowjackets lead Wheeling with 4 minutes gone. This is West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
3 points. 21-yard field goal by Tony Hornbuckle, capping off a 7-play, 61-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 54 seconds to go down the field. So Matt Murphy for West Virginia State, you get points, but maybe you feel like you just came up a little bit short. Had first and goal from the 10 thanks to that penalty from Wheeling. A couple of good looks at it, but just weren't able to punch it in.
Yeah, and that was a good methodical first drive there. They were able to march down the field, just kind of stalled out a little bit there in the red zone, had a couple of plays there with just minimal gain, and so you'd like to try to get that touchdown, but at least you walked away with some points. So they come back out here, you see what you can do now on defense. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what this Wheeling offense has to bring in today.
Certainly so. This Wheeling offense at the direction of Ade Olanagan, the redshirt sophomore from Waldorf, Maryland, taking over the starting job a couple weeks back from Landon Lutz, who was a multi-year starter for this team. He's the backup now as Olanagan led them to a win against Fairmont coming off the bench, and then has been solid the last couple of weeks outside of some struggles last week against the University of Charleston. He's seen a lot of time, and he will, we expect, be the quarterback that leads this Wheeling team onto the field here in Institute on offense for the first time. Alex Schrader has it teed up for West Virginia State just inside the left hash. The true freshman from Point Pleasant will send this one away. 11 minutes to go in this first quarter, and West Virginia State ahead 3-0. Back deep to receive for this Wheeling team, Naz Rem and Solo Love set to bring this one back. The kick from Schrader taken to the 1 yard line by Rem along the right hash. He cuts it up over the 15, then is wrapped up almost immediately. Grabbed at the 17-yard line by a couple of black jerseys. Greg Deloach leading the way down the field for West Virginia State. And then a couple of other defenders coming down on the coverage team to help make the stop. Curtis McCray in there to finish the hit for the Yellowjackets.
Just great coverage there on the kickoff by the Yellowjackets. Great job trying to get into the center of the field there. Runners trying to find some open space there, but just no holes. And a nice stop there, 15-yard line for the start here.
And now they're going to change the spot up to the 19, so they give them forward progress to the 19. That initially put it down, like you said, right around the 15. Olanagan in the shotgun. The running back to his left is Wheeling native Stevie Mitchell. 3 receivers to that side of the formation as well. He gets the snap, turns and hands it off for Mitchell. Running behind left guard, cuts inside, and is grabbed as he goes over the 20-yard line, falls forward up to the 21. Mike Wilson on the stop for West Virginia State. He was our player of the week on the broadcast last week. Had a big 4th down stop of Concord inside the 5-yard line. They spot him down at the 23-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4. Olanagan out of the shotgun, gets the snap and drops to throw. Stepping up under pressure, rolling right sidearm throw right at the sticks, pulled in by Jordan Kaiser up at the 31-yard line. Leading receiver for this Wheeling team moves the chains as he goes to a knee to pull it in. 10:20 to go in this first quarter, 3-0 as Wheeling wants to work quickly. 2 receivers to the left, single to the right is Kaiser as Olanagan gets the shotgun snap, pitches it left. Here's Mitchell trying to turn the corner, takes it up to the 35, is wrapped up again from behind by West Virginia State's Gemmel Smith, but a nice gain there on 1st down for Mitchell, picks up 6 yards, officially to the 37. They move those receivers now to the wide side, 2 to the right, single to the left, as West Virginia State now gets caught jumping offside. Mike Wilson got started a little bit early.
And those are the type of penalties that will make a coach absolutely crazy. Those are just the mental mistakes, individual mistakes that you have to avoid, especially with an offense like Wheeling here.
They move quickly, and it's the kind of thing where you can get West Virginia State maybe feeling like they're into a rhythm, and then you go to that snap on 2 or you go to the hard count and you get somebody to jump. So a free 5 yards up to the 42. As Olanagan lines up in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, single to the left, working from the left hash. Mitchell, the running back, and he'll turn and hand it off to him. Mitchell trying to find space, doesn't have any. Grabbed from behind. Marshawn Mankins yanked him to the ground right at the line of scrimmage. Mitchell able to reach the ball forward and get a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as we go under 9.5 minutes to play in this first quarter with State ahead 3-0. Rem, the receiver, into the slot left with Colin Oberdick to that side as Olanagan gets the snap and will roll in that direction. Throwing towards Rem. It's over his head, incomplete. Darrell Fletcher closing in quickly. And the 5'7" receiver, Rem, just couldn't climb the ladder to pull in that high throw.
It's a little too much sauce on that one, just over the head of everybody. So incomplete pass brings up a long 3rd down now for the Cardinals.
Now, West Virginia State struggled on 3rd down, particularly in the first half last week against Concord. The Mountain Lions were 6 of 7 on 3rd down in the first half, but 0 for 3 in the second half. We'll see if the State defense can get off the field. Ball at the 42-yard line, 3rd and 9. With Olanagan in the shotgun, he gets the snap. West Virginia State stands for Olanagan, throwing underneath. Pass broken up, intended for Mitchell. Keyshawn Washington, the redshirt freshman linebacker, getting the start today. Got a hand in on that shovel pass and knocked it away.
Yeah, shovel pass right down the middle there, but well defended by the Yellowjackets. Nice tackle there, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
So the punt team is going to come on for Wheeling. Ball at the 42-yard line. State getting off the field on this opening drive. Adrian Mosley back deep to receive again without Malik Baker today. The Yellow Jackets also without their punt returner. Brett Jackson is on to boot this one away. He stands at his own 28-yard line. State lined up like they might come after this one. The snap is low. He takes it off the turf and gets a low kick away. It spirals down to the 25-yard line and kicks out of bounds right on the State sideline. Left tackle Dalton Hall walking up and pointing for the official right where it went out of bounds, and they will put it at the 30-yard line. So that is where West Virginia State takes over. And after a week last week, Matt, particularly where the State defense played well in the second half but maybe didn't get off to a great start, that's exactly what you were looking for on the opening drive.
Yeah, for a moment there, it looked like the Cardinals' offense was really starting to look. They're opening up the run game really well there, but then a couple of pass plays incomplete later, and they forced the punt. And so now the Yellow Jackets get to come back out here and try again, possibly maybe get the touchdown that they missed on that opening drive where they had to settle for 3.
West Virginia State last week trailed 21-17 at halftime. After a couple of big plays for Concord, Yellow Jackets were up 7-0, up 14-7, but then 14 unanswered points from Concord going into the half made it 21-14. West Virginia State did get a late field goal from Tony Hornbuckle and then shut out that Concord team in the second half. And looks like we've got a little bit of an extended timeout here on the field. That's not going to allow us to get things started quite yet, but 9:01 to go in this first quarter. West Virginia State ahead 3-0. And, Matt, I think one of the things that you want to look at with this West Virginia State team is you want to run the football, and when you want to run the football, that typically involves controlling the clock. 6 minutes gone in this first half. There's only been 2 possessions so far, and West Virginia State really the only one of these two teams to really move the football down the field.
Well, and I think if they can get that run game established, continue to control the clock, continue to have that momentum, might open up some pass plays later on. I know that this offense for the Yellow Jackets, that's what they like to do, but you got to kind of lull that defense to sleep first and kind of come in with a surprise attack rather than just coming right at it.
Certainly so. So the Yellow Jacket offense back out with 9:01 to go in this first quarter. Caleb Jackson in the shotgun as we're ready to play. 2 receivers to the short side right, single left. Split wide is T.J. Gregory as Jackson brings his hands together, gets the snap from Logan Bartholomew, hands it off for Devin Cox, running off left tackle. Cox outside over the 45. Cox into Wheeling territory over the 50, stumbles out of bounds as he nears the 40-yard line. Cox really the lightning in this backfield compared to the thunder of JoJo Restall and Nashawn Hill. That time they just got him a seam to the sideline, and the freshman took it into Wheeling territory on the first carry of the drive. They say he stepped out of bounds at the Cardinal 45.
Nice wheels there by Cox, able to get onto that outside there and just turn the Jets on from that point on.
West Virginia State flips the formation. Gregory over to the right. Amari Airy slot left with Mosley split wide. And now they'll motion Airy from the left side over to the right. 4-man front for Wheeling as Jackson gets the snap, turns and hands it off for Cox. This time running off the right side. He's got another seam up across the 40 and grabbed from behind. He's pulled down by Leonard Sherrod III. But forward progress given down to the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of another 7 yards for Devin Cox. 2nd down and 3 upcoming.
And I like the way Cox kind of held on to that ball for a minute in the backfield, let the play kind of develop in front of him, find that open lane, and able to get a nice positive 7 yards.
8 minutes left in this first quarter. Yellow Jackets driving up 3-0. Airy motioned into the slot left as Jackson again brings in the snap, hands it off for Cox, again running the right side, tried to make a man miss in the hole and lost his footing, but he does have the first down up to the 30-yard line. He'll fall down right around the 28, and that's where they'll spot the football. Devin Cox, after 3 straight carries, getting a well-needed breather, heads over to the sideline, replaced by Nashawn Hill. First down for the Yellow Jackets up to the 28 with 7.5 minutes to go in this first quarter.
And a bit of luck there for the Cardinals defense, because had it not been for the turf monster there, I think that Devin Cox could have possibly gotten another 5, 6, 7 yards on that play.
Had a big hole and had lined up Leonard Sherrod trying to shake him out of his shoes and just lost his footing. Single receiver to each side for West Virginia State. Extra offensive lineman out there with David Dawson as Jackson gets the snap and will drop to throw. Looking to his right, pump fakes. Now scrambling under pressure. Flags come out downfield. Ball thrown inside the 5-yard line for Airy. Broken up by J-Mo Walker, and we're going to have to resolve what these penalty flags are for. 3 of them came out down the field. And the 3 officials that then threw those flags are coming together and saying, now did you see what I see? Before they can give it over to the white hat and see what's going on. Initial signal looks to be a holding penalty against Wheeling.
Holding.
All right, well, we got the holding out. So it's a holding penalty against Wheeling. Again, having a little trouble with the official's microphone today. But West Virginia State, the beneficiary of another penalty inside Wheeling territory, will get a first down up to the 18-yard line. Zachy Roberts has come into the game for the first time. Started the season as a safety, did the Fairmont State transfer, but West Virginia State a little thin at that H-back position has moved him over to the offensive side. He lines up offset to the right of the quarterback Jackson with Nashawn Hill, the running back to that side as well, single receiver to each side. Jackson waiting for the snap from Logan Bartholomew, gets it and hands it off for Hill, running left. Hill, not a lot of room, trying to plow forward, just gets back to the line of scrimmage and then is shoved back by that front of Wheeling. Frederick Woodfork in there to stop him. They say 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 20.
Also in on the stop was number 8.
Nice job there by the front 4 for Wheeling. Just closed up that hole. Nowhere to run.
Second and 12 at the 20.
So second down and 12. Now for West Virginia State, they go back to a little bit of a lighter formation. 3 receivers to the right with the tight end McCarty lined up to the left. Off the left hash with 6:20 to go in this first quarter. Jackson gets the snap and drops to throw, looking to his right, fires over the middle of the field, sprawling to make the catch. Devin Washington has it at the 10-yard line, just short of the line to gain. It will be third down and less than a yard for the Yellowjackets after a gain of 11.
Just a little quick pass right there over the center of the field. Nice job there. Not quite enough for first down yardage, but just about a yard to go here now for the Yellowjackets.
Ball inside the 10, and they need to get to the 9. Cox back in at running back. Extra lineman back in with Dawson. Single receiver to each side. Johnson offset to the right and over on the Wheeling sideline. That coaching staff does not like what it sees. Mott Gaiman, the defensive coordinator, came sprinting up to the official, and they'll have to burn a timeout here with 5:46 to go in this first quarter. We'll take it with them. West Virginia State driving inside the 10, leading 3-0. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
On third down and 1 at the Cardinals' 10-yard line. West Virginia State driving for the second time and looking to get into the end zone for the first time today. Caleb Jackson comes out in the shotgun, a single receiver to each side. Heavy set with 6 offensive linemen plus the H-back Deron Johnson on the line of scrimmage. Jackson claps his hands, gets the snap, hands it off for Nashawn Hill. He plows his way up the middle behind the center Logan Bartholomew and charges forward down to the 6-yard line with a Yellow Jacket first down. It'll be first and goal as we hit the 5.5-minute mark of this first quarter.
Just a simple little run up the gut there. State just needed 1 yard to get that first down, get a fresh set of downs here now, and it's going to be first and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Ball spotted officially at the 6-yard line. State will huddle for one of the first times in this game. Clock rolling down to 5:15 left in this opening quarter. The Jackets leading 3-0. Jackson out of the gun with 2 receivers to either side. It's the same formation off that left hash. Jackson gets the snap, hands it off for Hill, cuts back to the right. Hill lowers the shoulder, runs over the defender, and falls forward down to the 2-yard line. He was met on that cutback by Cameron Reynolds, one of the leading tacklers on this Wheeling team, who was able to get him to the ground, but came out worse for wear because of it. So second down and goal upcoming.
Yeah, took a big hit there by Nashawn Hill. Just put that shoulder down right into the pads of the defender there. Nice run there by Nashawn Hill. Really a tough runner for the Yellow Jackets.
And they spot the ball at the 3-yard line. Nose guard Mike Wilson has come in at fullback here on this goal line set for West Virginia State. He lines up to the left of Jackson, who's got Hill to his right. And now State doesn't like what it sees. And the Yellow Jackets will take a timeout for the first time. 4:28 to go here in this first quarter. We'll keep it here this time through the timeout. Yellowjackets facing second down and goal from the 3-yard line. And Matt, you look at the numbers here for West Virginia State. A couple of penalties have helped you out in terms of the efficiency for Caleb Jackson, but we knew coming into this game, West Virginia State thought they wanted to establish the run first. Well, officially, you look in the stat book right now. State has run 13 plays that have counted, and they've run the ball 12 times.
Yeah, there's really just been very minimal on the passing game, which is what we expected coming into this Wheeling defense. They kind of run a 4-2-5, a lot of big guys in the box, and State's really just been running it nose-to-nose with them, and with success so far this afternoon.
Yellowjackets out of the timeout. Stick again with that heavy goal line set we've seen at times this year. So the nose guard, Mike Wilson, is in the game at fullback. He's lined up to the right of the quarterback, Jackson. Tight end Jax McCarty to the left, and the single receiver to that side is T.J. Gregory. 6 offensive linemen on the field as Jackson leans forward, claps his hands, and gets ready for the snap. It comes back. The handoff goes inside to Nashawn Hill. He's wrapped up as he goes past the line of scrimmage. That hole closed up quickly thanks to the safety coming down, Cameron Reynolds. And West Virginia State will again face third down and goal. Again from the 3-yard line, no gain on the play for Hill.
Oh, a great job there by Caleb Jackson. That was a little bit of a high snap, so he had to kind of reach up and grab that one. Might have added a little bit of time on the exchange there.
Again, the same look for West Virginia State, just moved over dead center, officially at the 2-yard line. 3:55 to go first quarter. Jackson claps his hands, gets the snap, hands it off. Hill running up the middle. Hill plows forward at the goal line, dives into the end zone for the Yellow Jacket touchdown. West Virginia State knocking on the door a couple of times in this first quarter, and Nashawn Hill finally answers with a rushing touchdown. 3:46 to go in this first quarter. He gets in from 2 yards away, and the Jackets lead it 9-0.
A great job there by the Yellow Jackets. The big guys up front there, just with that forward push, able to give Nashawn Hill a little bit of space there as he runs it in and into pay dirt for the Yellow Jackets.
Tony Hornbuckle on for the extra point. This kick will be just a yard shorter than the field goal that he hit on State's first drive. The snap from Seitz, the hold from Camacho, the kick from Hornbuckle, and all 3 parts come together for State to add another point to that total. 10-0. The Yellow Jacket lead with 3:46 to go in this first quarter. This is West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Up inside the 5-yard line. Schrader on the approach, puts his right foot into the ball. An end-over-end kick down inside the 5-yard line. Love backtracking will take it a yard deep in the end zone and bring it out across the 10, running along the numbers right side, gets to the 20, and then is drilled to the ground by Keyshawn Washington for West Virginia State, along with an assist from Ashton Bolston. And again, going to be tough field position to start things off for Wheeling. Open that first drive at the 19. And they're going to put this ball down right around the 20.
Really great job so far this afternoon by the Yellow Jackets special teams. They had that field goal early on in the first drive. A couple of great kickoffs here so far. They've pinned Wheeling around the 20 or back behind that. So great job so far for special teams today.
Official spot of the football is the 21. Fully loaded gun here for Olonigan. He'll move his tight end, Alex Gadavatarn, over to the right of the formation. Take the snap and hand it off. There is nowhere to go for Stevie Mitchell. He ran right into the arms of big Dante Harris and was brought down a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll be feeling that one a little bit later. Big job there.
Yeah, Stevie Mitchell goes 5'8", 190. Dante Harris goes 5'11", 330. So a big hit there from the big man. Mitchell motioned out of the backfield, lines up slot to the right. Olanigan gets the snap, drops to throw, stepping up in the pocket. He's under pressure. He rolls to the right. He'll run it himself and runs right into West Virginia State's Marshawn Mankins, who drills Olanigan into the sideline. A gain of about a yard will bring up 3rd down and 11. But my goodness, Marshawn Mankins just came out of nowhere and put the quarterback on the ground.
Yeah, Mankins came in there and said, "No, sir, you are done right there." What an amazing open field tackle.
I don't think he ever saw him coming. They give him a gain of 3 up to the 21-yard line, 22-yard line to bring up 3rd and 9. 2:40 on this running first quarter clock. 3 receivers left for Olanigan, who gets the snap and drops to throw. Jackets send 4. Olanigan pressured from behind and is pulled down from the blind side. West Virginia State gets home for a sack here from Jabari Henry.
Just a great defensive stand there by State, forcing a 3 and out. Only 1 yard gained on that. It was just a really fantastic job there by the State defense.
Deshaun Jackson getting in there as well for West Virginia State. He recovered the fumble that sealed that Concord game last week. The freshman from Maryland coming up with a couple of big plays to finish last week's game and to finish this drive for Wheeling. Brett Jackson back on to punt. Adrian Mosley stands at his own 35. Jackson at the Wheeling 7, and this play will be blown dead before it gets started. And it looks like a delay of game penalty may be coming against the Cardinals.
Offense, 5 yards, 4th down.
Instead, it's a false start penalty against Wheeling, so they'll be backed up further. That'll push the ball back to the 17-yard line, and Jackson will be kicking this ball from inside his own 5.
Just a little rattled here. The Wheeling special teams here just not quite in sync there on that play.
And again, the first time for this Wheeling team ever here in Institute, and it's not been the best start. 1:50 on this running clock as Jackson stands at his own 2. The snap comes back. He gets the kick away, and this one is a floater that will bounce at the State 44-yard line, take a yellow jacket roll, and then die right there at the 44. It is downed in West Virginia State territory by Wheeling's William James, and the Yellow Jackets will take over at that 44-yard mark. So 1:40 on this first quarter clock. West Virginia State getting the football back, and now really a chance to put a stamp on this game. Last week against Concord, State went up 7-0. Thought it was going to get off the field, extended that Concord drive with a penalty, and then Concord was able to go down and score. West Virginia State, Matt, we've seen at times this season, not necessarily able to capitalize on a moment like the one they're about to have here. But this is a big spot for both of these teams. Yellow Jackets, you can go up 3 scores either late in the first or early in the second. For Wheeling, this is a spot for your defense to really step up.
Yeah, it sure is. Offensively for the Yellow Jackets right here, they really want to try to add another touchdown because then you've got a little bit of breathing room. That way, if you do accidentally make a mistake later on in the game, you've got some room to breathe here. And looks like we got possibly a penalty. It looks like they've moved the ball back.
Yeah, a personal foul called against West Virginia State at the end of that play. It'll go against Keyshawn Washington, and it will move the Jackets back to the 29-yard line. So not necessarily the quality of field position you thought you would have at the 44, but you will still take the football as West Virginia State comes out with Jackson in the gun. 2 receivers tight to the formation right, single to the left is Gregory as Jackson gets the snap, sets up a swing pass to Devin Cox, who makes the catch, running along the numbers right side, gets up to the 30, and is pulled down after a gain of about 2 yards. They'll give him the 31. Cox caught that ball 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, had some work to do, and he gets 2 to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Nice job there by the Wheeling defense, just recognizing what was happening there, swarming over towards the ball, and limits the gain there. But still a couple of positive yards for the Yellow Jackets.
1:10 to go here in this first quarter. 2nd down and 8 for Jackson off the right hash. Wheeling showing like it might send some pressure. Jackson gets the snap, turns and hands it to Cox. Cox trying the left side, turns it up behind a couple of blocks, keeps his feet out to the 35, and runs forward down to the 37 before being yanked to the ground by Jalen Wheeler and Tyreek Scrivener on the play for Wheeling. They'll spot him down officially at the 36.
It's another patient run there by Cox, just letting his blockers get in front of him and give him the lead.
And now the Jackets want to go quickly. 3 receivers split wide to the right, single to the left is Gregory on 3rd and 4. The snap comes back, screen pass set up right side for Amari Airy. He's got a block back up to the line of scrimmage, but is pulled down short of the line to gain. Now a flag down behind the play. and it looks like it will be a hold against West Virginia State.
Flag on the play.
So Airy was stopped short regardless, was about 2 yards short of that 39-yard line he needed to get to, and now West Virginia State may be backed up when Alex Schrader has to come out to punt.
Well, these are the types of penalties you really want to try to avoid. This is what breaks up your momentum offensively. You're working from behind now.
And we are going to replay third down because of a holding penalty. Now, the flip side of that is it will give you another chance on third down. It'll be third down and 11 now from the 28. But again, best case scenario here, you can move the chains, but it's still third down and long. 20 seconds left on this first quarter clock. Jackson in the shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. Running back to his left, brings his hands together and gets the snap. Wheeling only sends 3. Jackson with time. Jackson throws over the middle. Pass caught, 45-yard line. Amari Airy turns it upfield into Wheeling territory inside the 45, and he's dropped to the ground by Leonard Sherrod and Jalen Williams. West Virginia State takes advantage of Wheeling accepting that penalty and now moves the chains across midfield.
Well, Daniel, you called it exactly right. That gave them another chance at third down. On that previous play before the penalty, they didn't make it to the line of gains, so they're going to get the first down here, and they've moved into Wheeling territory as the quarter comes to a close.
We'll flip sides of the field. 15 minutes gone. West Virginia State with the momentum, leading Wheeling 10-0. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Start the second.
Ten for West Virginia State out of the first quarter timeout. 15 minutes on the clock for the Jackets. Going from the Wheeling 42-yard line. Caleb Jackson in the shotgun. 3 receivers right. He gets the snap, looking to throw. Fires out to his right. Pass caught. 36-yard line. It's Amari Airy outside the hash. He's driven back immediately. Coming out of there with the football is Wheeling's J-Mo Walker, but the play was whistled dead before it came loose. It's a gain of 6 yards for the Yellow Jackets, officially to the 35-yard line.
Amari Airy really becoming the primary target today for Caleb Jackson, thrown to him several times, several completions so far in this first half.
Airy has scored a touchdown in 4 consecutive games for West Virginia State. Question becomes, will he make it a 5th? Had one last week against Concord, dropped what would have been a second in that Yellow Jacket victory. Second down and 3 officially from the 35-yard line. 14-15 to go in the second quarter. West Virginia State ahead 10-0. Snap to Jackson, fakes the handoff to Cox. Jackson looking deep down the right sideline for Airy. It's overthrown and incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for Amari.
Jackson just led him a little too far there, over on that far sideline towards the corner of the end zone. Just a little bit too much out there. 2 defenders also there on Airy, so probably best that was just a little bit too far and not underthrown, because that could have very easily been an interception otherwise.
Yeah, the safety coming over the top of the play, Leonard Sherrod, is one of the premium ball hawks in Division II football. He's got 4 interceptions and 5 pass breakups in 6 games for this Wheeling team. Third down and 3 for West Virginia State. 3 receivers right, single left is T.J. Gregory. They'll motion Adrian Mosley from right to left. Fake it to him. Jackson, the quarterback keeper, running up the middle, should have the first down on second effort as he falls up to the 37-yard line. But no, they've turned the down marker over to 4th. They'll spot him a yard short. Needed to get to the 37, the 32. They put him down at the 33. Get another look at this one for West Virginia State on 4th and a yard. The Yellow Jackets will keep the offense on the field. Mosley, the single receiver in the formation. Now they'll run T.J. Gregory on late. 12 seconds on the play clock as Jackson tries to get his team lined up. Nashawn Hill, the running back, to the right. And the H-back, Deron Johnson, in the backfield to that side as well. Jackson gets the snap. Quarterback draw, hit in the backfield, back at the 35-yard line, and he's got nowhere to go. That play blown up from the beginning. Frederick Woodfork getting in there along with DeJuan Jones to make the stop for Wheeling. Deion McIntosh, the one to actually get Jackson on the ground at the end of the play. And the Yellowjackets turn it over on downs.
Yellowjackets had to kind of force that one in real quick. The play clock was counting down, and the official was in there holding the ball until everybody got set. So they lost probably about 5 seconds there.
Wheeling takes over on downs. First and 10.
And that late substitution with Gregory, somewhat costly because then you had to give Wheeling the opportunity to sub, so that took some time off the play clock. Speaking of a sub for Wheeling, we've got a change at quarterback. Landon Lutz is into the game for this third drive for Wheeling, something we may have expected to see. The veteran, a 2-year starter for this program, but lost the job earlier this year to Alonigan, who got the start today. But Lutz, the redshirt junior, is in for this third drive. Ball on the right hash. He gets the shotgun snap, drops to throw as West Virginia State sends for Lutz stepping up in the pocket. Lutz rolling left, throws on the run. Pass caught in West Virginia State territory at the 48-yard line by Jordan Kaiser, who makes one man miss and then is forced out of bounds.
Complete to Kaiser.
Landon Lutz doing well to extend that play, and Wheeling will go quickly now as the ball is put down at the State 45. Snap comes back to Lutz. It's fumbled in the backfield. He has to fall on top of it. DeJuan Green was back there with him, and they just got mixed up on the exchange. West Virginia State was also trying to make a late substitution, and we're going to have to work some things out here. It is going to be an illegal substitution against State that erases a negative play there for Wheeling.
Well, just a lucky break there for the Cardinals. I'm not entirely sure that Lutz had complete control of the ball. I think it was an RPO that the running back just thought, oh, the quarterback's keeping it, I'm going to run with it, but put it down on the ground. Lucky break there, though. They get the penalty in 5 yards.
Ball up to the 40-yard line, 12:45 left in this second quarter. Lutz with 3 receivers split to the right, gets the snap, hands it off inside for DeJuan Green. Not much running room for him. He gets up to the 38, and then Keyshawn Washington is able to get him to the ground with a little help from Dwight Fialer. Fialer lost his helmet and will have to come out of the game. Forward progress to the 38, brings up second down and 3. They'll stop the clock momentarily with 12:32 and now run it again here in the second quarter. Lutz with a single receiver left, 3 to the right, including the tight end Landon Hoers lined up in the slot. They'll motion him into the backfield. Lutz gets the snap, fakes the handoff, firing over the middle. Pass deflected, nearly intercepted. That was a low throw over the middle that found the hand of Malik Brown, and it was intended for Kaiser down the field and never got there.
Great job there by Malik Brown, able to get a paw up on that and broke up that play. It was well defended by the Yellowjackets, but that tip is really what made the difference there.
Third down and 4 officially for Wheeling. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line. Heavy set, everybody tight to the formation as Lutz will now flex a couple of guys out, and more than one of them jumped offside. This is going to be a false start penalty.
A couple of guys didn't catch the play count there. So the 5 yards they got earlier here, they're going to give back.
Had 2 receivers bunched to either side, and it seemed that Lutz was going to flex a couple of those guys out wide in motion, and instead of splitting out wide, they just jumped across the line of scrimmage. So instead it's third down and 9, 2 receivers to each side with the tight end Hoers in the slot to the left. Lutz in the gun, Green the running back to his right. He gets the snap. State sends 4. Lutz under pressure, fires over the middle. Pass caught by Colin Oberdick just inside the 40-yard line. Turns it upfield, right around the sticks. He's run out of bounds, and they will move the chains for a Wheeling first down.
Looks like Wheeling's trying to go quick here.
Yeah, they brought Oberdick over the middle of the field after vacating that left side, and he was able to get just enough after the catch down to the 35-yard line. First and 10, snap to Lutz. He'll roll to his right. Lutz looking to throw. Lutz looking deep down the field. It's overthrown for his intended receiver. Had a man breaking open. That was William James, but it was just sailed over his head and falls incomplete.
Nice play call there, just not able to complete. Lutz had a little too much on that one.
So Lutz has brought a little bit of a spark here back into the game for the first time for Wheeling, replacing the starter Alonigan. Stop clock, 11:47 left in the second quarter. Lutz in the gun with two receivers to the right, a single to the left. And the running back, Green, on his right hip, gets the snap, hands it off for Green. He's got a hole up to the 30-yard line, grabbed by Gemmell Smith, who gets pulled forward a couple more yards. Green running hard, the bigger back here for Wheeling, 6'1", 215. The redshirt sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, gets 7 on the play to bring up 3rd and 3.
Well, Daniel, I think you called it exactly right. Lutz has inserted some new energy here for this offense. He really seems to be more of a pocket passer, can get outside if he needs to there, but a little bit more traditional in that sense, and really seems to have livened things up here a bit, although looks like they're going to need to take a timeout.
Yeah, some personnel changes there for Wheeling, not getting put into place as quickly as they needed to. So head coach Zach Bruni will take a timeout with 11:09 to go in this second quarter. We'll take it as well. West Virginia State leads Wheeling 10-0. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Inside the Yellow Jacket 30-yard line for the first time. Ball at the 28, 3rd down and 3 coming up as Landon Lutz has come into the game at quarterback for Wheeling. Ade Olanigan got the second consecutive start here for Wheeling today. The redshirt sophomore won the job from Lutz a couple of weeks ago, but it's Lutz that has led them on their most successful drive yet. Two tight ends to the right of this formation. That's Gadavitarn and Hors. Two receivers to the wide side left, with Lutz in the shotgun. DeJuan Green, the running back, off to his side. The snap comes back. The handoff goes inside to Green. He cuts left, puts his back to the defense, charging down to the 31-yard line. Needed the 30. I don't think he got it.
Yeah, that was a nice job there by the defensive line of State, all kind of pushing the energy over to the right side there, blocked all the holes, and looks like they were able to get the stop. About a yard to go here on 4th down.
So it will bring up 4th and 1. State had a big 4th down stop on 4th and goal inside the 5 last week at Concord. See if they can hold up here. 3 tight ends into the game for Wheeling. Lutz in the gun, gets the snap, hands it off for Green. He lost the football right at the line of scrimmage. Dante Harris made the hit. Either way, he stopped short. The question is, do the Yellow Jackets come out of there with the ball? They say Green is down behind the line of scrimmage. Harris and Jeremiah Covington-Greggs got to him, and West Virginia State takes over on downs.
It's another one of those situations that was a really high snap, and I think that's adding just a little bit extra time on the exchange, and that was enough time for that Yellow Jacket defense to get in there and get the stop. In fact, I think it was probably going to be a tackle for loss there as well, but turnover on downs, and the Yellow Jackets come out unscathed yet again.
West Virginia State turned it over on downs on 4th down and 1. Now the Yellow Jackets get it back on 4th down and 1. Caleb Jackson and the offense back out with 10.5 minutes on this second quarter clock. TJ Gregory, the single receiver left, 2 to the right. Airy in the slot with Mosley split wide. Running back in the game is Nashawn Hill for West Virginia State. Wheeling, creeping a couple linebackers up to the line of scrimmage, could send pressure as Jackson gets the snap, hands it off, running inside, charging forward up near the 29-yard line for a gain of 2 yards. West Virginia State's Nashawn Hill has seen the majority of the carries today. They'll give him forward progress to that 29-yard line to bring up 2nd and 8.
Just a tough run there by Hill, right into the traffic there for the Wheeling defense, but able to grab a few yards. Positive momentum continues here for this Yellow Jacket offense.
Freshman receiver Javian Jones into the game for the first time for State. Somebody they've got high hopes for. They've tried to get him involved, but hasn't necessarily gotten a lot of targets the last couple weeks. See if he can make something happen as Jackson gets the snap and looks to throw. Jackson under pressure, fires to his left, looking for Jones. It's underthrown as breaking through the middle of that line. Dion McIntosh put some pressure on the quarterback, but it falls incomplete. Will bring up 3rd down and 8.
Wheeling only rushing 4 there, but one of the guys able to break free and put a paw up. Might have had a little bit of a tip there as Caleb Jackson let that one go.
DeJuan Jones forcing some interior pressure there as well And the Jackets quickly face third down, 3rd and 8 on a stopped clock in this second quarter, 9:45 to go until halftime. Yellowjackets leading 10-0. Jackson with 2 receivers tight to each side of the formation, running back to his right. Settles in to get the snap from Bartholomew, brings his hands together, and now will drop to throw. Jackson with time, rolling to his left, looking deep down the field for T.J. Gregory in Wheeling territory, who had it and then dropped it. Gregory had the ball in his hands at the 30-yard line. J-Mo Walker was right on his back, and he got a hand in and punched it away from Gregory, and now the punt team will come on for West Virginia State.
Well, and Jackson threw an absolute ace right there. It was right where you wanted it, just not able to bring that one in. Well defended, but it's just an amazing catch. Just could not hold on to that ball.
Great throw by Jackson, and Gregory had 2 defenders right behind him, and he just couldn't squeeze it. Schrader on to punt. Nasrem back to receive for Wheeling, standing at his own 30. Schrader at the 13 of West Virginia State gets the snap, rolls a bit to his right, sends a spiral kick away. Rem, ranging to his left, will pull it in on a fair catch at the 33-yard line, and that is where Wheeling will get the football back. Now, after that last drive, the question becomes, who do we see at quarterback here for Wheeling? Got the spark from Landon Lutz. Able to throw the ball down the field a little bit more on that drive. We'll see if they go to him or Ade Olanigan, who it seemed had really struggled with the pressure of West Virginia State on those first couple drives.
Well, for this Wheeling team, they had a couple of wins earlier in the year that would have been under Lutz, especially Fairmont State game. So we know that Lutz has got the ability out there. It's just a matter of who's getting, I guess, probably the most production this afternoon. It's been a lot of back and forth here. Wheeling just not able to get into that red zone and punch it in.
And Landon Lutz began this year as a third-year starter at quarterback for Wheeling. Threw for 1,300 yards and 19 touchdowns last year in 9 games. Also saw the majority of the snaps as a redshirt freshman 2 years ago, a 1,400-yard season, 9 touchdowns, but struggled with interceptions that year. He's somebody that certainly can command this offense under head coach Zach Bruni. The question has just become, like you said, who is going to be able to take the most advantage of this West Virginia State defense? To this point this season, Olanigan has been that spark, but Lutz is the veteran. And I think part of what you're looking at here as well is you want somebody to create some explosive plays, because for Wheeling to this point, they have not gotten a whole lot going on the ground. Just 10 carries for 22 yards, and 10 of those came on the last drive from DeJuan Green.
Well, I think that's just a testament to how great this state defense has been playing all afternoon. I know when you talked with Coach Pennington earlier this week on the coaches show, that was a lot of the discussion, was how was this defense going to respond to this rather explosive Wheeling offense.
And it is Lutz back out there for this, the 4th drive of the game for Wheeling. And again, he led them into West Virginia State territory inside the 30 the last time out, but turned the ball over on downs. He gets the snap, hands it off, running right for Stevie Mitchell. The speedy running back trying to turn the corner is undercut by West Virginia State's Sean Russ at the 38-yard line. And they're going to move that ball all the way up to the 40. Say Mitchell kept his feet for a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4, coming up with 9:10 on this running clock. Lutz in the shotgun, a running back to either side, motions Mitchell out to the left. They'll throw it to him on a swing pass. He's got a couple of blockers. One of those blocks is blown up by West Virginia State's Amir Muhammad, who got in there for first contact, and then Darrell Fletcher helped finish the hit. It's a gain of 3 more yards to bring up 3rd down and 1 at the 43 with 8:50 left in this first half, and Wheeling again looking to go quickly. 3 receivers split wide to the right, a single to the left with Lutz in the shotgun. West Virginia State looking like it might send some pressure, some movement up front. Nobody jumped off, though. And now Lutz will look to the sideline for a change of the play call. They stay in the same formation, now under 8.5 minutes until halftime. Yellowjackets again looking like some pressure's coming. Lutz gets the snap. Quarterback keep running behind right guard. He's hit first by Mike Wilson, trying to push the pile towards the first down. Marshawn Mankin's in there as well, but it's not enough, as Lutz is given forward progress to the 44-yard line. That was the line to gain.
It's a big effort there by the defense for the Yellowjackets, just not able to get the stop there, and the Cardinals continue on here with the first down.
1st and 10, under 8 minutes now to go in this second quarter of action. Lutz with 3 receivers to the right, running back to his left. Yellowjackets with a 4-man front, 6 in the box as Lutz gets the snap and drops to throw under pressure. Fires to his right through the hands of Jordan Kaiser and incomplete.
Yellowjackets only rushing 4 there, but able to get enough pressure on Lutz there. Lutz threw that out there a little quicker than I think he wanted to and overthrew the receiver. And a lot of traffic there. It's probably 3 or 4 black jerseys around the receiver there.
Second down and 10 coming from the 44. The clock stops at 7:44 left in this second quarter. West Virginia State leading 10-0. O'Marion Taylor in the game at running back. Now to the left of the quarterback Lutz. 2 receivers to the right and 1 out to the left is Oberdick. Lutz gets the snap, turns and hands it off inside for Taylor. He's got a hole, runs into one of his own linemen, keeps his feet up to the 49-yard line before being driven back. Jeremiah Covington, Griggs, and Mike Wilson in there for State. Call it a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. I'll call it a gain of 6 up to the 50. It'll be 3rd down and 4 right at midfield.
Covington Griggs on the stop.
See if this State defense can get another 3rd down stop. 2 receivers tight to each side of this formation for Wheeling, so everybody in the box for the Cardinals as Lutz stands in the gun with the running back to his left. He motions the tight end Gadavatarn to the left. Now Lutz gets the snap, drops the throw, firing over the middle. Pass caught, 1st down to West Virginia State 43-yard line. It is Alex Gadavatarn that pulls it in, the converted quarterback with his 12th catch of the season, able to move the chains.
Gadavatarn right there, running right across the middle. Nice connection there, enough for the 1st down for the Cardinals.
And Lutz again going quickly, gets the snap, hands it off inside for Taylor. He runs into a sea of black jerseys and is dropped at the 40 by Mankins. Spot of the ball was the 43. It's a gain of 3 yards to bring up 2nd down and 7. 6.5 minutes left in this second quarter. West Virginia State leading Wheeling 10-0, but Wheeling over midfield into Yellow Jacket territory for the 2nd time in as many drives. Lutz in the gun, 2 receivers left, single to the right is his favorite target, Kaiser. Lutz gets the high snap, pulls it in, drops to throw, firing for Kaiser. Pass caught at the 26-yard line along the hash. Beat his defender inside, KJ LeBecca, there for the stop for West Virginia State, but not before another Wheeling 1st down.
You're starting to see the chemistry of the quarterback Lutz here.
We do have a holding penalty that will go against Wheeling in a race. That pitch and catch from Lutz to Kaiser. But the point stands, Matt. You know, Kaiser is the leading receiver on this team, and Lutz has really worked with him well.
Yeah, the veteran quarterback, even though he's lost the jobs, you know, sometimes in situations like that, you're a veteran, you've been the starter for the team for a number of years, and you lose the spot. Sometimes that's the motivation you need to get back out there and really do some good work.
So they move the ball back, 2nd down and 17 coming from the 50. Lutz gets the shotgun snap, dropping to throw. He's got time. He checks down underneath, sails it over the head of his intended receiver, Naz Rem. That ball sails out of bounds and falls incomplete to bring up 3rd down and long.
Naz Rem, the redshirt sophomore, only 5'7". He would have needed to be about 6'7" to have caught that ball.
West Virginia State makes some subs, bringing on a little bit of a faster package there to try to get after the quarterback. 5:48 on this stopped second quarter clock. West Virginia State leading 10-0 and Wheeling behind the chains, facing 3rd down and 17 from the 50-yard line. The center, Angel Figueroa, over the ball. 2 receivers to each side as Lutz barks out a check at the line of scrimmage. The veteran quarterback gets the snap, drops to throw. West Virginia State sends 4. Lutz flushed out to his left, a flag down to the backfield. Lutz throws across his body, caught by Gadavatarn at the 40. He's run out of bounds by Greg DeLoach, but that flag right in the vicinity of holding, and it looks like it will go against Wheeling. And we did see West Virginia State benefit from Wheeling taking a holding call and replaying 3rd down earlier when State was on offense. It does look like John Pennington is going to accept this penalty. Now the difference there, Matt, instead of West Virginia State getting the ball on 3rd and 11 after the holding call, this is going to bring up 3rd down and 27 for Wheeling.
Yeah, it is definitely an option there to decline that one, but when you have that far to go, I mean, this may actually play out better for you. You get the stop here, you may get better field position when you get the ball back here if you can force the punt.
Certainly so. 5:30 running on this second quarter clock. Lutz in the gun with 3 receivers to the wide side left. He gets the snap, hands it off inside for O'Marion Taylor. He breaks a tackle, crosses the 45, hit by LeBecca at the 50, and spins forward up to the 48-yard line. So Wheeling just concedes there, though Taylor does a little bit of work to try to flip the field position, and now Brett Jackson will come on to punt with the ball down at the West Virginia State 48-yard line.
Well, I think with that run play there, that's designed just to try to help on the punt team here. Now you can pin State back here.
So it is Adrian Mosley out to return for West Virginia State. Jackson standing at his own 37-yard line. This will be a shorter punt snap than what we've normally seen from Wheeling today. Had the first two come out a little bit low. The snapper is Alex Tappan. This is a good one. And stepping forward, Jackson gets this boot away. Mosley underneath it will take it on a fair catch at the 11-yard line, and that is where State will get the football back. 4:36 to go in this second quarter. We'll take the timeout. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
To begin this drive here in the second quarter, 4:36 to go until halftime. Jackets leading 10-0. Matt Murphy, we were just saying during the break, West Virginia State with all 10 points in this game, with the way that State and Wheeling have played in recent weeks, thought there may be some fireworks on the scoreboard. Instead, it's been the defenses that have stepped up big.
Yeah, absolutely. This started out with that field goal on the first possession for the Yellowjackets. Then the next possession for them, they had the touchdown. And then since then, it's just been a real back-and-forth kind of chess match out here. And, not only has it been a defensive battle, but the penalties for both teams has really kind of hampered the operations for the offense.
A couple of defensive coordinators with some creative systems on either side of the ball. West Virginia State, we've seen all season, will rotate guys in wherever they feel like it on the field, it seems sometimes, with defensive coordinator Rashad Jackson. On the other side, the 4-2-5 look from Mott Gaiman at Wheeling, who has really helped bring this defense along the last couple of years, a standout player at West Virginia Wesleyan, where he was under West Virginia State head coach John Pennington at the time, an assistant coach at West Virginia Wesleyan. But it is Yellow Jacket football. 4:36 to go until halftime. The Jackets with it at their own 12-yard line. Pistol set for Caleb Jackson, and now they'll flex out into the shotgun with the running back Devin Cox to his left. Jackson gets the snap, hands it off for Cox, has a hole over the right side, turns it upfield up to the 15, and drags himself out to the 17-yard line. He had one man to beat in the hole, and Cameron Reynolds sized him up and laid the hit on the freshman running back.
Well, Devin Cox had a hole the size of a Mack truck right there, but nice job by that secondary for the Wheeling defense, able to close in and prevent what could have been a first down run.
Reynolds, one of the leading tacklers on this team, 5'9", 180-pound safety from Silver Spring, Maryland, on the stop. Gain of 5. Jackson out of the gun, 2 receivers to his left, single to the right. Claps his hands, gets the snap, and will bootleg out to the right, looking to throw. Picks up a block from Cox, throws back across his body over the middle of the field. It's deflected and falls incomplete. Had Jax McCarney, the tight end, with a little bit of space. It was tipped into the air, and Leonard Sherrod nearly took it out of the air. But now a flag down behind the play. Jackson ended up in the Wheeling sideline, and we're going to have to figure out what the call is here. Didn't necessarily see what happened behind the play. Jackson in an awkward position, throwing across his body, and we'll have to see what the officials have to say about this one.
Block below the waist.
And
Offense
the
number
penalty
29.
will go against West Virginia State. Actually, we'll get offsetting penalties. You get an illegal block below the waist against West Virginia State's Devin Cox, and then a roughing the passer penalty against Wheeling. So those penalties will offset, and it will again be 2nd down and 5 for West Virginia State. So you get the play back more or less there. Cox doing what he could to protect his quarterback. I said during the play that Jackson had picked up a block from Cox. He did hit the defender low, so he's calling for the penalty. And then the late hit on Jackson will offset that and bring up 2nd down and 5. 3:52 to go here in this second quarter. Ball at the 17. Jackson gets the snap, turns and hands it off for Cox. He'll try the left side, cuts it up near the 20-yard line, and stumbles forward out to the 22. That's close to first down yardage for West Virginia State. Maybe a short third down upcoming. And no, they're going to move the chains. First down, Yellowjackets up to the 22. See what this 2-minute offense looks like for West Virginia State. 3.5 minutes to go until halftime and 78 yards to go down the field to get into the end zone. Jackson getting the play call from the sideline. Matt Cavallero, the offensive coordinator, up in the booth, will call the play. Rather, he's on the sideline this week, will call that play into the backup quarterbacks who then signal it into Jackson. He gets the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff to Cox, flushed out to his right, will set his feet, throw downfield for Mosley near midfield. It ends up in the Wheeling sideline, incomplete.
Jackson just underthrows Mosley just a little bit there over on that far sideline. Trying to go for the home run ball there.
And Mosley downfield. Jackson just had to get rid of it. Was put on the move on that play and nearly ran right into the lap of one of those pass rushers, Marcel Chapman, able to provide some pressure along with Keenan Johnson for Wheeling. 3:01 on a stop clock, second quarter. Yellowjackets lead 10-0. Two receivers to the left, single right is TJ Gregory. As Jackson motions Amari Airy from left to right across the formation. The quarterback claps his hands, pulls down a high snap, hands it off for Cox, who's hitting the backfield. He's got nowhere to go. He'll lose yardage back to the 15. A loss of 7. Just a bad exchange there between Jackson because of the high snap, and Awal Osanuga was there waiting for Cox, and he drove him down for a big loss. Officially, they'll put the ball down at the 16-yard line.
Those high snaps will just break up the whole entire momentum of the play there. Quarterback has a timing with the running back, and when that gets broken up by a high snap there, sometimes, especially in this case here on that play, the Wheeling defense, I don't think they were fooled. I think they knew exactly what the play call was. Forces the long third.
Officials calling a timeout to get a new ball out on the field. Official spot is the 17. Single receiver to either side for West Virginia State. Rather, 3 to the right as Jackson gets the snap, drops to throw, under pressure, steps up in the pocket, throws underneath, pass caught by Cox, makes a man miss at the 20. Cox up to the 25, slips loose at the 30, dives forward near the line to gain for the first down, and they will move the chains. Devin Cox just able to be that outlet for Caleb Jackson. They dumped it off to him. He made a couple men miss and squirted free, cutting back up to the 33-yard line for the West Virginia State first down that will take us to the 2-minute timeout. Yellowjackets leading 10-0 with 2 minutes to go until halftime. This is West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Cox with the Houdini act on third down and long for West Virginia State, moves the chains. He gets loose for a 16-yard catch and run on third down and 15, and the Yellowjackets have the football out of the 2-minute timeout at their own 33-yard line. Cox leading the way for West Virginia State today, 8 carries for 54 yards and 2 catches now for 18 yards for the true freshman from Waldorf, Maryland. Out of the timeout, 2 receivers to either side for Caleb Jackson. Cox, the running back, to his left. Jackson claps his hands and gets the snap. Wheeling sends pressure. Screen pass set up left side for Cox. He cuts it along the hash, gets a block over the 40. Cox into the open field at the 50, and no one will catch Devin Cox. Nothing but daylight ahead for the freshman, and he takes it to the house. 67 yards on the catch and run. West Virginia State scores for the third time today, and the Yellowjackets lead it 16-0.
Boy, Devin Cox, 2 plays in a row there, comes in clutch for this Yellowjackets offense. In that previous play, he was able to turn something into nothing, get enough yardage to get that first down and set that play up right there. And then once he got into open space, it was just On with the Jets to pay dirt for the Yellowjackets.
West Virginia State into the end zone with 1:47 to go until halftime. Tony Hornbuckle on for the extra point. Will Seitz will snap this one to Jacob Camacho, who puts his knee down at the 10. The snap back, the hold down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:47 to go in this second quarter. West Virginia State leads 17-0 with another electric play from Devin Cox. You're listening to West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
With 1:47 to go until halftime, thanks in no small part to Devin Cox, 67 yards. The catch and run on the screen pass. 6 plays, 88 yards in 2 minutes and 49 seconds for the Yellow Jacket offense to go ahead 17-0. I'm Daniel Woods. Matt Murphy alongside for West Virginia State football as Alex Schrader is on to kick this one away once again as Wheeling sends back Solo Love and Nazrem to return this kick. Schrader with it teed up dead center will boot this away from right to left across our broadcast position. This will be a pooch kick down to the 40-yard line, and that was a design play for West Virginia State because you had Curtis McCray trying to run under that ball and catch it like a punt, but Schrader just popped it up into the sideline, and there will be a procedure penalty here against the Yellow Jackets.
Trying to do a little bit of trickery there, sneak play, but as you mentioned there, just a little too far off to the left here and went out of bounds.
You know, this West Virginia State team willing to get a little creative on special teams.
Sure.
Because the head coach is also the special teams coordinator with John Pennington. So we've seen a few wrinkles pulled out the last few weeks in the special teams game. Nearly had it work, a little bit more of an accurate kick, and Curtis McCray was right there to pull it in, but instead it goes out of bounds at the 42, and that's where Wheeling will take over. Landon Lutz gets a shotgun snap, looking to throw, fires out to his left, open receiver at the 47-yard line. It's caught by Colin Oberdick, who dances his way up to the West Virginia State 48 with a first down before going out of bounds.
Yellow Jackets just running that deep zone defense there, just allow the pass there, and I think at this point they're just trying to see if they can stop things enough to get to the halftime here.
1:41 on this stopped second quarter clock. Wheeling up to the West Virginia State 48-yard line. Shotgun snap to Lutz again. He rolls to his right looking to throw. Fires underneath. Pass caught at the 45-yard line by Landon Hors, who is driven to the ground by Greg Deloach. The clock will continue to run. Wheeling with just one timeout because of some procedural issues earlier is only going to be able to stop the clock once, and you would probably think you want to hold that for a potential field goal attempt. So 1:20 on this running clock from the West Virginia State 45. Yellow Jackets with 6 men in the boxes. The snap comes back. Lutz looking to throw again. Lutz flushed out to his left. He breaks a tackle. He'll go for a run and slide down inside the 35-yard line. He was grabbed from behind by Keontavious McGrew, but shook him off and had some space to get down to the West Virginia State 32-yard line. They spot him where he began his slide, so the 33. And that is where Wheeling will have it, first down and 10 with a minute to play until halftime. Stevie Mitchell, the running back to the right of the quarterback, 2 receivers to either side of the formation. Lutz gets the snap, looking to throw again. West Virginia State sends 4 again. He will scramble, now inside the 25, and slide again with a first down at the 21. Lutz.
Same type of play as the last time there. Lutz recognizes the open midfield and just runs out there, grabs another 12 yards.
So 50 seconds on the moving clock here from the 21-yard line. Same formation for Wheeling. West Virginia State just not able to keep Lutz in the backfield, and now the Yellow Jackets will use a timeout with 42 seconds to go until halftime. So stop the clock, first down and 10 for Wheeling at the 21-yard line. And Matt, again, you've got to give Landon Lutz a lot of credit. This Wheeling offense sputtering on its first couple of drives. They still haven't put points on the board, but he has taken this team inside West Virginia State territory twice. Once you turn it over on downs, once you're backed up by some penalties. But here, 2-minute drill, need to get down the field, need to get points before halftime. They're starting to roll along, and you're seeing the veteran presence here, I think, with the way that he's handled the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Les is just taking what he's been given right there. And both of these last two plays, the guys up front have just kind of over-pursued. It's left a lot of space in the middle of the field as the defenders are all kind of grabbing all the wideouts deep downfield. And so Lutz has just been taking what he's got there, run straight up the gut a couple of times. And both of them have been first down runs. Knocking on the door here. They're trying to get that goose egg off of the scoreboard here before they go in at halftime, but only 42 seconds left to do it.
West Virginia State handled itself well defensively on a short field a couple times last week. We'll see if the defense can stand up again here. Ball from the left hash as Lutz gets the snap. Yellowjackets send pressure. He'll throw it downfield towards the end zone. Pass deflected into the air and nearly intercepted. Darrell Fletcher got a hand on the football, and Amir Muhammad was right there with him. They ran into each other, and neither had the opportunity to pull it in.
Well, that ball was just underthrown, and had it not been for both of them running into each other, one of them was going to come down with that interception. Instead, it's going to go down as the incompletion, bring up second down.
Fletcher had the interception in the end zone late last week against Concord to help hold on to that 7-point advantage. 36 seconds on this second quarter clock. Wheeling looking to drive and put points on the board, trailing 17-0. Lutz gets the shotgun snap. He's under pressure. He steps up. He throws downfield. It's ahead of his intended receiver, Mitchell, and incomplete. Marshawn Mankins, the linebacker, had to pick Mitchell up out of the backfield and had lost a step on him, but Lutz, under pressure, got that ball out a little bit more quickly than I think he wanted to.
And Mitchell got a little bit tangled up with his cornerback defending him there and wasn't able to run the route full speed like he wanted to, and that ball just overthrown.
You look at the kicking game for Wheeling. Brett Jackson just 3 of 7 on field goal attempts this year. Rather, that's Connor Fitzpatrick. As third down here, the throw goes to the left from Lutz. It's caught for a first down, taking it inside the 10. On the catch and run is Oberdick. Just a quick throw to get that first down and get a couple opportunities to try to throw the ball into the end zone as Wheeling will move the ball down to the 9-yard line. First down and goal upcoming and take a timeout with 25 seconds to go. But as I was saying, you look at the situation here for Wheeling. You move the ball now down to the 9-yard line. Fitzpatrick is just 3 of 7 on field goal attempts, 2 of 5 from 30 to 39, and 1 of 2 from 40 to 49. That long of 48 yards for him this year. So the kicking game, not necessarily the most consistent thing for Wheeling. You certainly think they're going to give Landon Lutz some opportunities to get the ball in the end zone here with 25 seconds to go in the half.
Well, they definitely help themselves out here by getting this first and goal.
Yeah, ball down at the 9-yard line. First down and goal with 25 seconds to play. Lutz with 2 receivers to the left and a single to the right. Running back to his left is Mitchell. He gets the snap and drops to throw. Yellowjackets send 5. Lutz under pressure, stepping up. Lutz tries to make a man miss, cutting to his left, and he is dropped at the line of scrimmage by Javian Jones, the two-way standout for West Virginia State today. We heard before the game that the freshman receiver may be out there defensively this week, and he comes up to make a play right there, number 15 in black. We said they've got high hopes for him on offense, but he's a good enough athlete. They'll put him out there on defense, and that time Lutz trying to turn the corner couldn't get away from him.
Well, I think State learned from those couple of run plays earlier by Lutz, and they kind of had a couple of guys there sort of as a spy, just keeping an eye on Lutz and making sure that he didn't have a lane into the end zone there. Nice coverage by the cornerbacks to keep the wideouts from being open, and that turned out to be really a game of nothing there.
Yeah, back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and goal from the 9-yard line.
You would think here now that I believe Wheeling has used their last time out.
Right.
So at this point, they're going to have to try for a couple of quick passes into the end zone and then go for the field goal if they don't make it.
Right. Again, you're looking at a situation where you need to stop the clock before trying to get that kick team on, whether it's with an incomplete pass or clocking the ball on third down. 18 seconds on the clock, second and goal from the 9. Lutz in the shotgun, 3 receivers wide right, single to the left with Mitchell on his left hip. Just 5 men in the box here for West Virginia State as Lutz gets the snap. They'll throw the fade left side for Oberdick, who comes back to the football and makes the catch in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown Wheeling with 15 seconds. left in this first half, and it was Javian Jones that made the stop for West Virginia State on the previous play. That time they target him on the outside, and Oberdick makes the catch for the score.
And Oberdick might have gotten away with a little bit of a shove there, but a nice catch in the front corner of the end zone there. And Wheeling able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard, trying to grab a little bit of momentum back here going into the halftime.
Fitzpatrick on for the extra point.
Fitzpatrick on to attempt the
Trying to make this a 17-7 game. The snap back, the hold down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 15 seconds to go until halftime. West Virginia State concedes points for the first time, now leading Wheeling 17-7. We'll bring you the conclusion of the first half after this on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
State allows points for the first time today. Touchdown pass from Landon Lutz to Colin Oberdick, 10 yards into the end zone on second down and goal. And now West Virginia State will see if this Wheeling team even gives Devin Washington a chance to return this kick. Fitzpatrick has shown the ability to kick it deep, but this West Virginia State special teams unit has certainly had the advantage in these situations so far today. And you wonder just how far the Yellowjackets would be able to get up the field that would give John Pennington the idea that they might want to try to get some points before halftime. Just 15 seconds, so again, you're not looking at any kind of time that you'd be able to string a drive together, but something explosive might change your mind here on the kickoff. Fitzpatrick will boot this from left to right. It'll be a squib kick bouncing up to Deron Johnson at the 30-yard line. It actually goes off of his foot, and one of the up men dives onto it for West Virginia State. Zachy Roberts able to recover at the 30-yard line, and with 13 seconds and 70 yards to go, seems as though the Yellowjackets would probably be willing to take this one into the half ahead by 10 points.
State does still have one timeout left here in the half, so they could try a couple of quick Hail Marys down here, try to either that or get into field goal range, but we'll see what they draw up here.
Tony Hornbuckle hit a season-long 40-yarder last week at Concord, but we'll see what West Virginia State goes for and if they try to get him into range. It is a typical offensive set here for the Yellowjackets, so they'll run at least one play with three receivers to the left. Adrian Mosley split to the right, and Jackson in the shotgun. The running back is Devin Cox. He gets the snap and drops to throw. Wheeling sends just three. Jackson throwing towards midfield. Pass caught at the 50. Amari Airy pulls it in and steps out of bounds into the Jackets sideline. So a gain of 20 yards as 5 seconds come off the clock. 8 seconds to work with for West Virginia State. First down and 10 officially from the Wheeling 49. See if Jackson again is throwing down the field on this play. He gets everybody set. 2 receivers to each side. Cox offset to his right. Snap to Jackson. He drops to throw. Wheeling does not send much pressure again. He throws to his left. Pass caught at the 36. Airy stepping out of bounds. 2 seconds on the clock. This would be a long one for Tony Hornbuckle, and it looks like they will keep the offense on the field and try to throw this one into the end zone. Yellowjackets down the field quickly with a couple of throws to Airy, and now they will use that final timeout to get the play call in. Matt Cavallero coming off the sideline to have a word with his quarterback. But, Matt, we talked about it. 13 seconds where you get the football. If you can make something out of that first play, you think you've got a shot to do something, and that's exactly what you've gotten here. We talked about it. Not a lot of offensive fireworks through the first, it felt like, 25 minutes of this game, but now with Wheeling going down the field quickly and State doing the same, these offenses are starting to show a little bit of life.
Yeah, and a lot of times in these situations, if you're Wheeling, you're trying to not give up the big play. You're not trying to give away the touchdown. So you're going to get a lot of these 10, 15, 20-yard passes. And as it's shown so far here, with 2 seconds to go, State's taking advantage of it. I'm curious to see. I guess it looks like we're going to get the offense back out here, so they're not going to go for the field goal, but definitely an opportunity here going into halftime.
Would have been a 53-yard attempt for Tony Hornbuckle, which would be a career long by a significant margin. So it will be the offense out for State from the 36-yard line. Ball in the left hash, 3 receivers to the right of the formation. As Jackson gets the snap, Wheeling sends 3. He's got plenty of time, dances to his left, loads up and fires for the end zone. This one right at the goal line, a sea of bodies, and it's batted down by one of the Wheeling defensive backs. Climbing the ladder on that play to knock it away was Tony Cox. And that will take us to halftime with West Virginia State leading Wheeling 17-7. Yellowjackets scored the first 17 points of the game. Wheeling scoring before halftime will get the football back to start the second half. This is West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
monster in the backfield there with Nashawn Hill and Devin Cox. They both played really well here in this first half. I think if you're State, the thing is to just make sure that you keep your thumb on the gas here. You just don't let up. You're only leading by 10 points. Of course, your defense has done well in this game, but you want to make sure that you come back out in this second half and put more points on the board. You don't want to have to rely just on your defense to stop wheeling. You want to try to extend that space and give yourself a little bit of more room to breathe.
West Virginia State leads Wheeling 17-7 at the half, looking to beat the Cardinals for the first time since 2019 in Wheeling's first visit here to Institute, West Virginia. When we come back, we'll take a look at scores around the Mountain East Conference as well as what's going on in Division I college football. That's up next on our halftime show. You're listening to Yellowjacket Football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Final non-conference game of the season, taking on Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference foe Edinboro. It's a 21-6 lead for Fairmont State at the half. Nino Marzullo with a touchdown pass and 2 rushing scores for Fairmont State to take that advantage. West Liberty playing West Virginia Wesleyan today. That game closing in on the end of the first quarter. West Liberty leading that game 7-2 as West Virginia Wesleyan was able to get on the board with a safety in this game. So West Virginia Wesleyan, West Liberty battling in that one, and it is West Liberty leading in Buchanan 7-2. A touchdown run for Antavius Jackson, the West Liberty quarterback. Keeping things moving through the conference, a big one at the University of Charleston right now. UC taking on Frostburg State. Those two teams right at the top of the conference, with these two teams on the field in front of us here as well, Wheeling and West Virginia State. That game is tied 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Frostburg getting into the end zone on a touchdown pass by Jordan Brooks to one of his favorite receivers, Javon Gilliard. On the other side, the University of Charleston scoring its first touchdown of the game, a run by Justin McDuffie. Again, that game's gone to the end of the first quarter. Frostburg and Charleston tied at 7. They are just underway in Summersville between Concord and Glenville State. Again, Concord and Glenville playing in Summersville today because Glenville is without its home stadium this year at Ike Morris Stadium on campus. They're playing their home games at a variety of locations around the state. That game has just started in Summersville. Concord and Glenville are scoreless. In college football right now, Division I, a lot of top 25 matchups today. One of the bigger ones between number 17 Vanderbilt and number 10 LSU. That game closing in on halftime. LSU just kicking a field goal to come within a point. Vanderbilt leading LSU 14-13 in Nashville. Number 12 Georgia Tech on the road at Duke. Again closing in on halftime. That game tied at 7. Number 14 Oklahoma is at South Carolina and leads that game 7-0 with 12 and a half minutes to go until halftime. A number of other ranked matchups coming up later in the day across college football. Elsewhere, outside the top 25, Michigan leads Washington 7-0. UConn leading Boston College. Oh no, that score just changed because Boston College has just gone ahead of UConn with a Grayson James touchdown pass. It's 19-17. In the Big 12, Houston leads Arizona 21-14. TCU leads Baylor 14-10. And West Virginia trails UCF 14-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter of that game. WVU looking for its first conference win of the season, but UCF up on the Mountaineers by 2 scores late in the first quarter. That'll do it for our look around the college football scoreboard. When we come back, a look at local and national news along with a look at sports around the country. This is West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
home battle for West Virginia State. First time that this Frostburg team has come to Institute in its history. And West Virginia State looking to send them back to the Northern Panhandle with a sour taste in their mouth. Yellowjackets up by 2 scores, looking to finish it. This Wheeling team scored right before the end of the first half, and now will get the football to start the second half. Matt, we talked about it on the halftime show. Big spot here for this West Virginia State defense.
Yeah, absolutely. This defense has played really lights out, especially early on in the game. They did give that one up late in that second quarter, but hopefully you come back out here after you made some halftime adjustments and you tighten things up and give these Wheeling Cardinals a bad time for their first trip down here to the Institute.
Alex Schrader on to kick this one away from the 35-yard line, from right to left across our broadcast position. Naz Rem and Solo Love back deep to return for this Wheeling team.
What a football name, by the way.
Solo Love?
Yes.
That's a good one. I appreciate it.
I enjoy that.
The transfer from Methodist University. May see him at receiver some today as well. This one booted deep by Schrader. Settling underneath at Rem, pulls it into the 3-yard line, cutting to his left across the 15-yard line, runs into one of his own blockers, now cuts it outside over the 25 and is drilled by Darrell Fletcher at the 28, and that's where Wheeling will get the football. Some of its best field position of the game so far. That coverage team for West Virginia State pinning them inside the 25 twice, but a nice return there by Rem. Got a block around the outside to his left, and they'll set up at the 28-yard line, first down and 10.
I've been very impressed with the special teams for the Yellowjackets all afternoon. Even though they gave up a little bit of more yards there, they still have really done tight on all the kickoffs this afternoon.
Landon Lutz in the game to start the second half at quarterback for Wheeling. 3 receivers right, takes the snap and hands it off. Running left, this is Stevie Mitchell trying to turn the corner. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and is run out of bounds at the 30. Had a block out there from the receiver, Jordan Kaiser, but Keyshawn Washington able to blow through there and shove him out of bounds at the 31. A gain of 3 yards, second down and 7, as Lutz will quickly bring them back to the line with 2 receivers to the right and Mitchell in the backfield. The veteran quarterback bent forward at the waist, awaiting the snap from Angel Figueroa. He gets it. He'll throw quickly. Pass caught by Jordan Kaiser at the 38-yard line. He squirts forward up to the 42 for a first down. Wheeling moving quickly, picks up that first down on just a couple of plays. His knee went down at the 42. That's where they'll spot the football. 14 minutes to go here in this third quarter. First down, Wheeling. Snap to Lutz, hands off inside. This is Mitchell over the left. Stiff arms a man going up over the 45, breaks loose and is run out of bounds over the 50 at the 46-yard line in West Virginia State territory. Mitchell able to turn the corner, then Marshawn Mankins chased him down and shoved him out. But in Yellow Jacket territory, just 3 plays, all it takes for Wheeling to get over midfield. Lutz out of the shotgun off the left hash. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Gets the snap, hands off for Mitchell. He's got a hole running left this time. Flag comes down in the backfield. Mitchell has the first down over the 35. Was able to run over a West Virginia State defender on that play, but this one should be coming back on a hold.
State defense on the back of their heels here a little bit. Wheeling really with the up-tempo pace here, although they're going to get the penalty against them here.
You know, that's maybe one of the downsides of going as quickly as Wheeling has. Sometimes you're moving a little bit before your guys get set, and one of the offensive linemen there just got a handful of jersey, and it's going to cost him 10 yards. So the ball moved back to the 44-yard line of Wheeling. It'll be first down and 20. 13 and a half minutes to go in this third quarter. Damari Toney into the game for West Virginia State. He rushes off the right side as Lutz throws over the middle. Sprawling catch made by Jordan Kaiser in West Virginia State territory up at the 41-yard line. A laser fired by Lutz up the left hash, and Kaiser went full extension to grab it. They get all of the penalty yardage back and then some down to the 41. It's second down and 5. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. That's Kaiser for Lutz to get the snap and hand it off for DeJuan Green running over the left side. Met at the line of scrimmage. Mankins pulls him down after a gain of a yard up to the 40.
Good stop there by the Yellow Jackets. They needed that one to force a third down here.
Be 3rd and 4. 12:45 left in this third quarter. Yellow Jackets lead 17-7. Wheeling 4 of 8 on third down so far. West Virginia State getting off the field half the time. Lutz in the gun out of the same formation. Yellow Jackets showing some pressure here. Snap comes back. They send it. Lutz throws right over the middle. Pass caught by Kaiser down at the 31-yard line. Grabbed and pulled to the ground by Amir Muhammad, but not before. He's got another first down for Wheeling. Lutz just threw where the pressure came from, and Kaiser on a quick move to the inside made the catch.
Lutz likes that slant route there with Kaiser. That's 3 times on this drive alone. They've run a similar play there.
Down to the 30-yard line. First down and 10. 12 minutes to go, third quarter. Wheeling trails by 10. Lutz gets the shotgun snap and again drops to throw. Pump fakes. Now fires towards the end zone. Overthrown, but now a flag comes out. Darrell Fletcher was tied up with the tight end Landon Hors, and it looks like we'll at a minimum get a holding penalty, if not pass interference. Fletcher out there going 5'10", 155 against the 6'4", 225-pound tight end Landon Hors, and he held on just a little bit too long, and that's going to be a free 15 yards, rather a free 10 yards on the defensive holding penalty down to the West Virginia State 20. That ball was overthrown. Amir Muhammad played over the top of it, nearly came up with the interception, but instead West Virginia State's penalized. 3 receivers wide to the right side. Single receiver to the short side left for Lutz out of the gun with Mitchell to his right. He gets the snap, looking to his left, fires for the end zone. Pass comes up short, intended for Bud Walker. Had Muhammad out there in one-on-one coverage, and Lutz didn't lay it out for him.
Very well defended there by the Yellowjackets.
First time we've seen Bud Walker targeted today. That's Torrance Bud Walker for the track fans around the Kanawha Valley. Was a 5-time West Virginia State sprinting champion, spent 3 years on the Virginia Tech track team, and now for his last 2 years of college is transferred back home to Wheeling. He went to Wheeling Park High School and has joined the football team. Lutz gets the shotgun snap on 2nd and 10, firing to his left. Pass caught by the tight end Hors down at the 14-yard line, driven out of bounds immediately by Sean Russ. Call it a gain of 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Hors just running right off of the middle there towards that far sideline. Nice job there by Lutz to catch him in stride.
11:30 left in this third quarter. Wheeling driving, trailing 17-7. Lutz looking to convert again on 3rd down. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. He gets the snap, drops to throw. He's under pressure, flushed out to his right. Lutz still rolling. Lutz has daylight. Lutz running, has the first down inside the 5, leaves his feet, and crashes into the end zone for the Wheeling touchdown. Landon Lutz, 6'5", 218 pounds, rumbling down the sideline, leaves his feet and spins his way across the goal line. Wheeling is back within a score at 17-13.
This is exactly what we've been talking about this afternoon. Lutz coming into the game as the backup, but inserting this electricity into this Wheeling offense. And he just took what he was given there. The receivers were well defended downfield, but he saw an opening and dived in and got another touchdown for Wheeling.
Took a hit from Deshaun Jackson and popped right back up with 6 points. The snap back, the hold down for the Fitzpatrick extra point. West Virginia State nearly got to it. Instead, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 11:15 to go in this third quarter. Wheeling back within 3. Yellowjackets lead 17-14. This is West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Seconds, West Virginia State was up 17-0. Wheeling has scored the last 14, and now the first opportunity for this Yellow Jacket offense here in the second half, Matt Murphy.
Yeah, and if you're Yellow Jackets, you've got to come out here and you've got to put some points on the board, take back some of this momentum. Of course, Wheeling now has scored 14 unanswered, so you really want to try to get something going here if you're the Yellow Jackets.
You certainly knew that Wheeling was going to have some kind of counter to what West Virginia State was doing today. This team would not be positioned where it is in the MEC under head coach Zach Bruni if they were not capable of coming here to Institute and putting up a fight. But West Virginia State had all the momentum, and then really that drive at the end of the first half for Wheeling is what has swung things to this point. And a lot of that has to do with the play of Landon Lutz, who's come off the bench.
Yeah, we were talking there in the break. I'm a little surprised that he came in as the backup today because he's really played significantly better. It's not that Lonigan wasn't doing well, but Lutz has just been playing lights out so far this afternoon.
That added rushing element has helped quite a bit as well. He's gotten loose a couple of times on those scoring drives, including that touchdown run to cap off the first drive of the second half. Connor Fitzpatrick out to kick this one away. Devin Washington back deep for West Virginia State at the 5-yard line. 11:15 on this third quarter clock as the Yellowjackets lead 17-14. Fitzpatrick boots this one away, end over end kick. Washington tracking back on it, will take a yard deep in the end zone. Now running along the right side, numbers, cuts back inside of the 15. Stutter steps over the 20 and is brought down at the 22-yard line. Wheeling's Omar Johnson getting down there to make the stop, and West Virginia State will take over for the first time here in the second half with 11:10 left in this third quarter.
Curious to see what Coach Pennington comes out with here in this second half. We talked about it at halftime. They really kind of had more of a balanced approach. They started with the run game and then was able to open up that pass game and really kind of had a balanced approach as they went on through that first half.
21 rushing attempts for West Virginia State, 14 passes for Caleb Jackson in the first half. And if this is any indication for West Virginia State, we're going to see some of the heavier stuff here in the third quarter. 6 offensive linemen on the field to start this drive. Jackson gets the snap, handoff. Devin Cox has a hole running left. Cox up over the 25, undercut at the 28, and stumbles forward. He was hit by Cameron Reynolds before going to the ground. A nice run there, a hole opened up by the left guard, Justice Hutchison, and West Virginia State gets 7 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Wheeling coming in there with 5 or 6 guys. Nice job there by Devin Cox to find a little bit of an opening there, and we've seen it several times this afternoon. Once he gets past the line, he is a dangerous runner in space.
Single receiver to each side. It's Airy to the right, Gregory to the left. Ball in the left hash with Jackson in the shotgun. Still the 6 offensive linemen look for the Jackets. Snap comes back, handoff goes to Cox. He lowers the shoulder, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more as he's brought down again by Reynolds up at the 30. And West Virginia State quickly faces 3rd down and 2.
It's a counter up the gut there. Not a lot of space for Cox to run through there, but about a 2-yard 3rd down coming up here now for the Yellowjackets.
We'll go with the bigger back, Nashawn Hill, into the game, 5'11", 210. And he ran well in the first half as well. 10 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. Single receiver right is Gregory. 2 to the left with the H-back, Deron Johnson in the slot, and Airy split wide. Wheeling showing pressure. They'll motion Johnson into the backfield and hand it to him on the jet sweep. Johnson lost his footing in the backfield. He's brought down for a loss. Jefferson Bratanis Deska shot in behind the play, and as Johnson started to stumble, brought him to the ground for a loss of a yard.
Johnson, the motion man there, just lost his footing. Unfortunate series there for the Yellowjackets. Now 4th down, they're going to have to punt the ball away. Not what you wanted coming out here in this second half, especially after giving up that touchdown to start things off here in the third quarter.
Not able to convert on a short 3rd down, and Alex Schrader will now punt with Wheeling in position to get the football back and try to take the lead. He stands at his own 15. Naz Rem back at the Wheeling 29-yard line. Snap back to Schrader. He gets this kick away, spiraling downfield. Rem will backtrack, take it at the 26, running outside the numbers. Gets away from one man, crosses the 30, cuts it up over the 40. He's pulled from behind up at the 45 and brought down, but a nice return there for Wheeling's Naz Rem. Will have this offense set up well once again. And Zachy Roberts in there on the stop for West Virginia State. But Rem got away from the first coverage man, then slipped away from long snapper Will Seitz, and is officially spotted down at the 46. So more good field position for Wheeling as Landon Lutz will lead this offense back out to try to take the lead.
You can feel the control of the pace of this game is completely in the hands of Wheeling right now. State needs to find some way to kind of grab control of that a little bit again, control the pace of this game, slow things down a little bit. I think State's going to be successful this afternoon if they can just slow things down, slow down this Wheeling offense, and make them play at your level.
It's a 21-yard return on the punt officially up to the 48-yard line. So Wheeling right around midfield to get this drive started and try to take the lead for the first time today. Again, West Virginia State led 17-0 in the first half. Wheeling has scored the last 14. Now this Yellow Jacket defense called upon quickly after the offense goes 3 and out. Landon Lutz was the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year for Wheeling. Ceded that job to Ade Olanigan a couple weeks ago. Olanigan started today. Offense sputtered early for Wheeling. Zach Bruni puts Landon Lutz back out there. He's 10 of 17 for 94 yards and a touchdown. Has also run the ball 5 times for 36 yards and a score. So he's leading this team passing. He's leading this team rushing. He's really been what Wheeling has needed in just about every aspect today.
And, you know, the 36 yards rushing, it's not necessarily that it's a lot of yards, but it's been yardage that they needed, especially going into the half there. That first touchdown they scored late in the second quarter was the result of a couple of big-time runs there by Lutz.
He comes back out to start this drive, 1st and 10 from the Wheeling 48, 8:57 left in this third quarter. Stevie Mitchell, the running back, to the right of the quarterback. 2 receivers split out wide to either side, working off the left hash. Lutz gets the snap, quick swing pass, thrown right through the hands of Mitchell and incomplete. Stevie Mitchell more than capable as a receiver. 9 catches for 73 yards this year, had 246 receiving yards last year as a junior, the Wheeling native, but not able to squeeze that one. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 8:54 on the stopped clock. West Virginia State holding on to that 3-point lead, 17-14. Lutz moves one of those receivers over to the right side. The tight end, Gadavitarn, lined up in the slot. Lutz going through a couple of checks at the line. Now he's ready to go. Gets the snap, hands it off inside for Mitchell. Bounces off one defender, keeps his feet, slides over to the left, and takes it into West Virginia State territory down to the 47 before being brought down in the middle of the pile by Dwight Fialer and Adrian Bowers. And it'll quickly bring up 3rd down. Call it a gain of 5 yards up to the 47 of West Virginia State. It'll be 3rd down and 5 with 8.5 minutes to go here in the third. Lutz back to the line, 2 receivers either side. 17-14, the West Virginia State lead. Defense trying to get off the field again. Lutz gets the snap, quickly looking to throw over the middle. Pass caught at the 40, breaking a tackle, taking this down inside the 35 before being dropped is Solo Love. Talked about him earlier in the third quarter. Returning that kick, said that we might see him at receiver. That time he makes a big play on 3rd down and scampers up to the 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
Lutz just finding the receiver, drop down in the zone there. Nice completion, gives the Cardinals a 1st down.
Ball on the right hash, 3 receivers to the wide side. Left single right is Oberdick. 1st and 10 with 7:45 to go in the quarter. Snap to Lutz, under pressure, now rolling to his right, keeping his eyes downfield. Pump fakes, leaves his feet, and then is shoved into the West Virginia State sideline by Keyshawn Washington. Good job to extend the play by Lutz. He picks up 7 yards on the play, down to the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 3 coming. And he was just able to keep that West Virginia State defense guessing. 17-14, the West Virginia State lead as Lutz gets the snap, hands it off for Mitchell, shakes off one defender, cuts it outside across the 20, down inside the 15, keeps his feet, and DeMarcus Daniels finally brings him down at the 12-yard line. So another nice run there for Stevie Mitchell, and Wheeling now in business at the Yellow Jacket 12-yard line.
Daniels and Lebecca on the stop.
Clock ticking down towards 7 minutes here in the third. Wheeling trying to take the lead for the first time after the 13-yard run by Stevie Mitchell. Lutz sets the play. Not a lot of huddling here from this Wheeling offense. Ball on the right hash, 3 receivers left. Oberdick split wide to the right. West Virginia State sending pressure as Lutz takes the snap, rolls to his right, fires this towards the end zone over the head of Oberdick. Just had to get rid of that one. Had a couple of black jerseys just about in his lap as he dropped a throw.
A couple of missed blocks there on the O-line for Wheeling. Several of those defenders there on the Yellow Jackets able to blow that play up in the backfield. Lutz just had to toss that one away.
Adrian Bowers coming free for West Virginia State, and Lutz just had to make a decision and seemed to be the right one, getting rid of it. Live to fight another day now on 2nd down and 10. That halts the clock with 6:39 to go in this third quarter. Wheeling trailing West Virginia State 17-14. Out of the same formation, Lutz gets the snap, turns and hands it off for DeJuan Green, who's got a seam down inside the 10, grabbed around the ankles and brought down by Marshawn Mankins right around the 5-yard line. They say that he went down at the 7, and that is where Wheeling will now face third down and 4 to go. Lutz going quickly, brings him back to the line, and a pistol set with Green behind him. Third down and 4. He gets the snap, turns and hands it off for Green, trying to turn the corner around the right side. He's run out of bounds by Mankins, short of the first down. It'll be 4th down and 2 yards to go coming up for Wheeling. And Zach Bruni is going to send his field goal team on to try to tie this game.
Big time stop there for the Yellowjackets. Running downfield there a little bit for Wheeling. A nice job by the Yellowjackets to pull something together here and prevent the touchdown, instead forcing the field goal here.
So it is Fitzpatrick on to kick. Jordan Kaiser, the receiver, is the holder. Alex Tappan, the long snapper. 21-yard attempt to tie the game. Snap from Tappan, the hold down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. 5:37 to play in this third quarter. We are back square. Wheeling with a 21-yard field goal by Connor Fitzpatrick ties the game with West Virginia State. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
And now we're going to decide in the last 20 minutes and 37 seconds of game time who's coming out of here with a win. Connor Fitzpatrick on to kick this ball away for Wheeling after putting it through the uprights from 21 yards away to tie the game just moments ago. West Virginia State sends Devin Washington again back deep to receive. Fitzpatrick on the approach sends a pooch kick towards the West Virginia State sideline, and that will bounce into the sideline and go out of bounds for a procedure penalty. West Virginia State, if John Pennington elects to do so, can get the football at the 35-yard line here. Now, we've seen John Pennington earlier this year elect to force the opponent to re-kick, but that was last week against Concord, and Concord had already kicked the ball out of bounds 3 times when he decided to make them re-kick. So I would assume West Virginia State will take the ball here at the 35-yard line.
I think the odds were a little more in their favor in that game last week. Yeah.
Right. So it will be Yellow Jacket football. West Virginia State has not had the ball much in this second half. Went 3 and out on their first drive after Deron Johnson stumbled in the backfield on a run on third down and short. He's out there as the H-back lined up to the left, single receiver either side. Caleb Jackson in the gun with running back Devin Cox on his left hip. Jackson gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw, fires deep down the left sideline, one-on-one coverage for Amari Airy, who comes back, bobbles it, and has it knocked away. J-Mo Walker in single coverage had Airy blanketed. It was a good throw by Jackson out to the sideline, but Airy couldn't hold on to it with his right hand.
Nice attempt there by Airy, who was falling backwards towards his back. He almost had that with a one-handed grab, just couldn't maintain possession of it. Just a great effort, though, by Airy. Unfortunately, an incomplete pass. It brings up second down for the Yellow Jackets.
We've seen some spectacular plays for Amari Airy throughout the year. He just couldn't hold on to that one. 5:30 on a stop clock here in this third quarter. Yellow Jackets tied with Wheeling 17-7, working on 2nd and 10 from their own 35. Jackson in the shotgun, gets a high snap, fakes the handoff to Cox. Now will look to throw under pressure, stepping up. Jackson off his back foot, leaves it short of Airy. It falls incomplete. Jackson under pressure was knocked down at the end of the play by Deion McIntosh.
Jackson a little slow getting up on that one. Took quite a hit on that, but still out there ready to go.
Rather, that was Frederick Woodfork that laid the hit on the quarterback. And now it'll be 3rd down and 10 for West Virginia State, looking to avoid another 3 and out. Gregory, the receiver, sent out to the right. Ball on the right hash. 3 receivers left for West Virginia State. Wheeling looking to send some pressure here on 3rd down and long. 5:24 to go in this third quarter. All knotted up at 17. Jackson claps his hands, gets the snap, looking to throw, picks up a block from Cox. Jackson turns to his right, fires, pass caught. TJ Gregory at the Wheeling 47-yard line, snares it and steps out of bounds with the first down.
Nice block there by Jackson. Completely upends the defender there.
Cox, 5'8", 179, just decided low man wins and got underneath him. That was Tyreek Scrivener coming off the edge, and Cox was able to get him out of the way of the quarterback. West Virginia State going quickly. Snap to Jackson. Handoff Cox running left. Now cuts it back inside across the 45. Grabbed and spins forward down to the 42. Jefferson Bratanis Deska on the stop for Wheeling. This team's leading tackler coming into today. A transfer from Lincoln has made his presence felt a couple of times. A gain of 4 yards for West Virginia State to bring up 2nd and 6. 4:50 running on this third quarter clock. Javian Jones into the game for West Virginia State. The receivers split to the left side. 3 wide to the right with Devin Washington, Amari Airy, and Adrian Mosley. Jackson gets the snap. Quick drop looking to throw over the middle. Through the hands of Mosley. Deflected and intercepted. Leonard Sherrod pulled it in, and now the officials are saying it hit the ground first. Ball went off of Mosley's hands. Sherrod was right there as it was deflected, and the officials say it bounced first.
Jackson threw a laser in there. Fortunate to get the incomplete pass there instead of the interception.
And that would have been Leonard Sherrod's 5th interception in 7 games for this Wheeling team. Instead, it brings up 3rd down and 6 for West Virginia State from the Wheeling 43-yard line. Airy motioned from left to right. Snap comes to Jackson. Fakes the handoff to Airy. Quarterback keep running off the left side. He's got the 40. He's yanked down from behind by Bratanis Deska. And now this may be 4-down territory for West Virginia State. 4th down and 3 coming up from the 40-yard line. And they're going to keep the offense out there, and they're going to go heavy, bringing David Dawson back out as the 6th offensive lineman. Nashawn Hill in at running back, and Deron Johnson out there as the H-back. 3:59 running down on this third quarter clock, all tied at 17. West Virginia State needs to get to the Wheeling 37 on 4th down and 3. 1 receiver to each side. Jackson moves Johnson over to the left, offset outside the offensive line. Snap comes back, handoff inside for Hill. Slips away from one man on second effort, is right at the sticks. Wheeling comes up signaling for the turnover on downs. This will come down to the spot of the football. West Virginia State defense starting to creep back out onto the field. Still no signal from the officials, and now it is a turnover on downs. Wheeling football at their own 38-yard line. Nashawn Hill comes up a yard short. Wheeling will get the football back with 3:38 to go here in the third. And West Virginia State all tied at 17. West Virginia State defense now in a position to try to avoid falling behind for the first time in this game. 3:38 left in this third quarter. Lutz comes out in the gun, gets the snap and drops to throw. West Virginia State sends 4. Lutz looking deep down the right sideline. One-on-one coverage for Oberdick. Sailed out of bounds. Good coverage by KJ LeBecca in a one-on-one situation from the freshman. See if this West Virginia State defense can bow up. They were able to stop Wheeling and force that field goal in the last drive after a methodical push down the field from the Cardinals. And now an even bigger spot. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, working off the right hash. Snap comes back, fakes the handoff, throws left. Pass caught by the tight end, Hors, who's upended immediately by Darrell Fletcher at the 48-yard line, rather the 44-yard line. And he's slow to get up at the end of the play. The tight end, Hors, one of the leading receivers on this team. He pops back up to his feet and now will rumble off to the sideline. It comes up to 3rd down and 4. Now at the 44-yard line.
It's 3rd down.
Big spot here on 3rd down. Wheeling now 7 of 12 on 3rd down, is 3 for 4 here in the second half. Lutz out of the gun with 2 receivers to either side. West Virginia State showing pressure. They send it. Lutz gets the snap, fires quickly into West Virginia State territory for Oberdick, and LeBecca breaks it up to bring up 4th down. The West Virginia State pressure got back there in a hurry. And KJ LeBecca able to get a hand in on the football as Lutz got rid of that throw a little bit more quickly than I think he wanted to. So with that, Brett Jackson back out to punt for Wheeling with 3:01 to go in this third quarter, and the game tied at 17. Adrian Mosley on to return the punt for West Virginia State, again in the absence of Malik Baker, who's out injured today. Jackson stands at his own 29. Mosley back at the 15 as this one may have been partially blocked. It bounces at the 31-yard line, takes a West Virginia State roll to the 32. There's a flag down on the play as well.
There's a flag on the play.
West Virginia State's Curtis McCray got after that one. It's not in the area that you would think it would come for contact on the punter. We're going to have to see what this one comes out for.
Holding. Return team number 10, 10 yards. First down.
It'll be a holding penalty against West Virginia State as, well, it can't be number 10 because Caleb Jackson is not on the punt return team. That's the quarterback. But it is a penalty against West Virginia State for the hold on the return, and they will put the ball back at the 21-yard line. Again, it bounced at the 30 and started to roll back Wheeling's way. So that'll move them back 10 yards to the 21, first down and 10. Coming up in a tie game, 17 apiece. 2:51 to go. Two receivers tight to the formation on either side for West Virginia State. Jackson in the gun, claps his hands and gets the football. Drops to throw, he's got time. Jackson looking, throws underneath, pass through the hands of Nashawn Hill, who took a big hit on the play. Hill, looking that one into his hands, was met by Devontae Courtney, who jarred it free, and it'll bring up second down and 10.
Broken out by Courtney.
Devontae Courtney, the redshirt sophomore from Columbus, playing that defensive end spot. Saw the running back starting to come open there and bashed it out of his hands. Three receivers right for Jackson, who gets the snap, hands it off for Hill, running left. He tries to slip it back inside, stumbling forward up to the 31, keeps the legs moving, and falls forward up to the 27-yard line, Scrivener in on the stop there for Wheeling. 2.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. West Virginia State and Wheeling tied at 17. Yellowjackets facing a key third down and 5 here from the 27-yard line. Gregory and Washington split to the right. Airy in the slot left with Mosley sent wide to that side. Four-man front for Wheeling, 6 in the box for Jackson out of the shotgun with Hill to his right. Wheeling looking to send some pressure here. Jackson claps and gets the snap. Wheeling sends 6. Jackson flushed out to his left. Jackson throwing on the run. Pass caught. Amari Airy, 37-yard line. First down, Yellowjackets. Good job there by Jackson to see the pressure coming from his right. Roll to his left. Threw across his body, and Airy was waiting for him. Past the sticks for a gain of 10. And the Yellowjackets will keep it moving. Jalen Wheeler running him out of bounds after the first down was picked up. Three receivers right, one to the left for Jackson, working off that left hash. 6 men up front for Wheeling. Snap comes back, handoff goes inside for Hill. Hill's got a seam across the 45, cuts it outside of the 50, into Wheeling territory, lowers his shoulder at the 45-yard line, and is brought down at the 41. Hill just caught a seam there, was grabbed by Leonard Sherrod III, and finally pulled to the ground down at the 41-yard line. Left tackle Dalton Hall lost his helmet on the play and will have to come out for one snap. Sawande McWhite has come in at left tackle for West Virginia State, the 6'9", 325-pound transfer from Wagner. Now out there at left tackle for the Yellowjackets. Three receivers right, one to the left off the left hash. This is Jackson getting the snap. Turns and hands it off for Devin Cox. Cox bouncing it outside, lowers the shoulder as he goes over the 35 and sprints out of bounds down to the 32. Another nice carry there for Devin Cox. Depends on where they say he went out of bounds. As for the spot, they will give him the 31-yard line, a gain of 9. Yellowjackets going quickly down to a minute to play here in this third quarter, all tied at 17. Ball down to the Wheeling 31-yard line. Second down and 1 coming up for the Jackets. Two receivers bunched wide to either side. Off that left hash, Jackson directing traffic at the line of scrimmage. Jackson claps his hands, gets the snap, looking to throw on second and short. Jackson under pressure. Jackson rolling right, going to go for a run. He's got daylight across the 30, up to the 25, dancing towards the sideline, takes himself out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Jackson felt pressure coming from behind. That was Marcel Chapman coming in behind the quarterback. Jackson able to roll to his right, had a little bit of green grass to work with, and picks up 5 yards for the Yellow Jacket first down up to the 26. Clock rolling down to 10 seconds to play here in the third. Will John Pennington try to get another play off here before the end of the quarter? Down to 5 seconds as Jackson barks out the signals. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will be it for our third quarter. West Virginia State and Wheeling all tied up at 17. The Cardinals score all 10 points in the third quarter, and we go to the fourth all even. It's West Virginia State and Wheeling tied at 17. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
To start the fourth quarter at the 26-yard line of the Wheeling Cardinals. Caleb Jackson leading the team down the field here. A couple of key conversions on this drive, and now a chance to retake the lead, all tied at 17 with 15 minutes to play in this game. 3 receivers to the left for Jackson, 1 to the right off the right hash. He gets the snap, dropping, looking to throw, stepping up, firing towards the end zone. This is a floater over the head of his intended receiver and over the head, more importantly, of the defensive back, Jamo Walker. Jackson forced to throw off of his back foot, just sent it up towards Amari Airy inside the 5-yard line, but Walker had a better beat on the ball. Jackson just put enough air underneath it that it sailed over his head and fell incomplete. So second down and 10 coming up for West Virginia State. 14:54 to go here in this fourth quarter. Tie game at 17. West Virginia State scored the first 17. Wheeling has scored the last 17. 3 receivers to the short side right. Motion man across from right to left is Amari Airy. They'll fake it to him on the jet sweep. This is a keeper for Jackson. He's got a seam over the 20, down inside the 15, breaks the tackle and takes it inside the 10. Caleb Jackson getting active in the running game again for West Virginia State. Was able to slip free at the line of scrimmage, and now the Yellow Jackets are set up well officially at the 7-yard line. First down and goal coming up for West Virginia State. Jackson just popping free. They got the defense moving from right to left with Airy, and then it was north and south for Caleb Jackson to cut through behind the right guard, Brody Sipple. Gain of 19 yards, first down and goal from the 7. Airy split wide left, Gregory split wide right, extra lineman in the game with David Dawson. Snap comes back, handoff, Nashawn Hill running to his left, grabbed at the line of scrimmage, spins forward, may have gotten a yard. Wheeling able to get into the backfield with Keenan Johnson coming off that edge. And Hill giving forward progress to the 5-yard line. The 210-pound running back just kept the legs moving. Second down and goal coming up from the 5. West Virginia State has punched it in once from down close like this. Also was stopped and forced to take a Tony Hornbuckle field goal on its opening drive. Single receiver each side. Tight end Jax McCarty to the right. Shotgun for Jackson. Hill to his left. Gets the snap. Fakes the handoff. Jackson looking to the end zone. Over the head of McCarty and incomplete. A little bit of a busted play there as Johnson got into the backfield again. And Jackson just had to let that one go. McCarty breaking over the middle of the field on the pop pass. And he never got his head around for it. So quickly, third down and goal from the 5. West Virginia State will change some personnel here, going a little bit lighter. The extra lineman Dawson coming out along with McCarty, the tight end. Deron Johnson back in there along with Adrian Mosley. So 3 receivers for Jackson along with Johnson lined up as the H-back to the left. Hill, the running back, with him in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left, Airy alone to the right. Jackson in the gun, the running back Hill to his left. 3rd and goal from the 5. Jackson claps his hands, gets the snap, looking to throw, looking across the middle of the field. He's still got time. Jackson steps up, going to try to run for it. Dances. He's held up at the 3-yard line and pushed back. And West Virginia State will face 4th down and goal. Here comes the kick team with Tony Hornbuckle. And now some whistles potentially for an injured player. And it is West Virginia State's Brody Sipple, the right guard, a little bit slow to get off the field here.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
State injured player there, Amari Airy, the leading receiver in the Mountain East Conference, initially appeared to be a Wheeling player that had gone down on that play, but it was Airy that was down in the end zone, and he's walking off to the sideline under his own power. Athletic trainer Haley Bassett's got his helmet, so we'll have to keep you updated on the status of the top receiver in the MEC, Airy, who has scored a touchdown in 4 consecutive games coming into today. But West Virginia State now may be without him here in the 4th quarter. 13-10 to go in this game, all tied at 17 between West Virginia State and Wheeling. Tony Hornbuckle coming out for the field goal here for West Virginia State. Ball spotted at the 4-yard line. Holder Jacob Camacho will kneel down at the 11-yard line. It's a 21-yard kick straight on for Hornbuckle. He's 1 for 1 today, again on a 21-yard boot as well. Will Seitz, the snapper, over the football. Camacho ready, the snap back, the hold down, the kick from Hornbuckle is up, and the kick is good. 13:07 to go in the 4th quarter. West Virginia State retakes the lead 20-17, and now the Yellow Jacket defense will be called upon again after Tony Hornbuckle breaks the tie. More to come after this. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Virginia State back in front of Wheeling, finally answering those 17 straight points from the Cardinals, and now the Yellow Jackets ahead 20-17. Alex Schrader on to kick this one away. Nazrem back deep to receive along with Solo Love for Wheeling. This kick coming from left to right across our broadcast position. This West Virginia State defense getting its first stop in the second half. The last time out, looking to do the same here. Schrader sends this kick away end over end, directed towards Love, who will take it at the 1-yard line, running outside the right hash, cuts it across the numbers to the 20, spins away from one defender, wrapped up at the 22-yard line and shoved out towards the sideline before being brought down. And that is where Wheeling will take over. Couple of black jerseys in the area there on the stop. Curtis McCray has been really active on special teams today. He was in there on the stop for West Virginia State along with Zachy Roberts. 13 minutes exactly as this Wheeling offense is led back out by Landon Lutz. And the ball will be put down at the 23-yard line. Two receivers to the left, including the tight end Gadavitarn. And two receivers to the right for Lutz, who's come off the bench for Wheeling at quarterback in this game and engineered a couple of scoring drives. Stevie Mitchell, the running back to his right, the snap back. Lutz will take him, the keeper running right, grabbed from behind by Gemmel Smith, and he took him for the ride there for a couple of yards before being brought down with some help from Keontavious McGrew. Gain of 4 yards there on the keeper by Lutz, 2nd down and 6. Coming up at the 27-yard line. 12:35 to go here as Lutz gets the snap, drops to throw, screen pass set up right side, caught behind the line of scrimmage by Oberdick, who's grabbed around the ankles by Marshawn Mankins after picking up a yard. And quickly, 3rd down and 5 coming up here for Wheeling. 12:20 to go on this running clock in the third quarter. West Virginia State holding on to that 3-point lead after the Hornbuckle field goal. It's 20-17. 3rd down and 5 at the 29. Lutz brings each receiver tight to the formation on either side. There's 2 of them lined up outside the tackles. Lutz in the gun with Mitchell to his left. Motion man from right to left is the tight end Gadavitarn. Snap comes back to Lutz. He looks to throw, fires underneath. Pass caught by Mitchell behind the line of scrimmage. He gets up to the 30, stumbles forward. This will come down to the spot. Mitchell pointing like he got the first down. The official has spotted it at the 33. That was the line to gain. 1st down Wheeling. Darrell Fletcher with the tackle in the open field, but not quickly enough to stop Wheeling from moving the chains. 1st and 10 at the 33. Snap to Lutz, inside handoff. Mitchell running behind left guard, now tries to bounce it outside. He's met by KJ LaBecca and driven back after a gain of 2 yards. West Virginia State got there in a hurry. Jeremiah Covington-Griggs helping finish it from the backside. Forward progress up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 2 makes it 2nd down and 8, 11:15 to play in this fourth quarter. West Virginia State still leading Wheeling 20-17, trying to get off the field here defensively. 2nd down and 8 from the Wheeling 35. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Now for Landon Lutz with Stevie Mitchell to his left. Gets the snap, looking to throw. West Virginia State sends 4, fires across the middle. It's through the hands of Gadavitarn and incomplete. Had him up at the 40-yard line. The throw goes wide, and the coverage of Mankins helped that one fall incomplete. 2nd down and 8, rather 3rd down and 8 here at the 35. 3rd down defense, not as sharp here in the second half for West Virginia State, but still good across the board in this game. 8 of 14 is Wheeling on 3rd down. 10:57 to go. Lutz out of the gun with 2 receivers to either side. West Virginia State with 5 men in the box. The snap comes back. Lutz to throw. Rushed by Covington-Griggs on the right side. He's flushed out to his right. Lutz still looking downfield. Fires as 2 flags come out in the defensive backfield. And the pass goes out of bounds, incomplete. But this could be in the area of a defensive holding penalty against West Virginia State. Amir Muhammad with some frustration at the end of that play.
Defense number 4.
And it is a defensive holding penalty against Amir Muhammad that is going to extend this drive for Wheeling. 10 yards and an automatic 1st down up to the 45 after Lutz just ran out of room and had to throw it out of bounds. 1st down and 10. 10:49 to go as Lutz gets the snap, hands it off. This is DeJuan Green running left behind the left guard, Nick Mahoney. He plunges forward up near the 49-yard line. Adrian Bowers in on the stop for West Virginia State. Up to the 49-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Still no huddle here for Wheeling. 2 receivers moving over to the left. That's Love in the slot with Kaiser split wide. Oberdick, the single receiver to the right. Now they'll move Love into the right side slot. Tight end Gadavitarn moves to the left. 7 men in the box here for West Virginia State. Off the left hash, Lutz barking out the signals. Now a flag comes down behind the play. And this could be a delay of game penalty. Instead, it's a false start. Play clock was ticking down for Wheeling. Lutz quickly trying to get the snap off. Ended up having one of his men up front move. Now it'll be 2nd down and 11 from the 44. 10-10 on this fourth quarter clock. West Virginia State leading Wheeling 20-17. Three receivers to the wide side, right, one to the left. Here for Lutz, who gets the snap and drops to throw. West Virginia State sends 5. He throws over the middle. The pass over the head of Kaiser, incomplete. Tight coverage from KJ LeBecca once again. The true freshman lined up against the leading receiver for Wheeling, and that time he wins out. Another big third down spot for the Yellow Jacket defense. 3rd down and 11 at the Wheeling 44-yard line. Clock stopped at 9:57 to play. Still a lot to be done here in Institute. Same formation for Lutz, the running back Green to his left on 3rd and 11. West Virginia State sending some pressure. The snap comes back. Lutz firing over the middle. Pass caught right at the sticks by Gadavitarn, who took a big hit from Keyshawn Washington and falls forward to the West Virginia State 44 for the first down. Lutz just put it right in the window. Gadavitarn able to hold on through the big hit. And it's 1st and 10 from the 44. Lutz quickly gets the snap, and now another flag down. And a false start penalty going to come against Wheeling. Tried to go a little too fast. So they'll back him up 5 yards on 1st down. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 49.
15 at the West Virginia State 49.
9:32 on this 4th quarter clock. Yellow Jackets looking to keep Wheeling off the board and hold on to this 20-17 lead. Three receivers to the wide side, right, one to the left. That's Kaiser. As Lutz comes out in the shotgun, gets the snap, a short drop looking to throw, rolling out to his right under pressure, tries to cut back left, now back to the right. Lutz running, throwing downfield. This one put into the sideline, incomplete. Oberdick, the intended receiver downfield. Lutz just nowhere to go.
Quarterback was number 9, McGrew.
McGrew on the pressure for West Virginia State. And now it'll be 2nd down and 15.
2nd down and 15 from the State 49.
Two receivers to each side with the tight end Gadavitarn in the slot to the left. Ball just inside the left hash for Lutz. 4-man front for West Virginia State. 7 in the box. Lutz gets the snap. They send 4. He drops to throw. Flush to his right again. Fires off his back foot. This one sailed into the sideline, and now a flag down as Deshaun Jackson hit Lutz at the end of the play. That one thrown right as the hit was made by the true freshman. And there may be a personal foul penalty here for roughing the passer. And that's exactly what it is. Jackson hit Lutz right after he let the ball go and right in front of the official. So it is roughing the passer against West Virginia State, and what would have been 3rd down and 15 is now going to be 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the West Virginia State 34-yard line.
9:05 to go in this 4th quarter, 20-17, the West Virginia State lead. But a couple of costly penalties hurting the Jackets here on this drive by Wheeling. Shotgun snap to Lutz, fakes the handoff, now rolls to his right, looking to throw back across the middle. It's caught by Hors down at the 28-yard line. He's spun down, grabbed onto by Darrell Fletcher, but not before a gain of 6 yards. It's 2nd down and 4 coming up. Timeout called on the field by the officials. Looks like West Virginia State's Keontavious McGrew is going to have to come off for an equipment issue. And there's an issue with the play clock now. And it looks like they're going to have to keep that on the field now. 8:54 as the clock is stopped. 2nd down and 4 for Wheeling.
2nd and 5 at the West Virginia
Here's the tight end in the slot to the left. They'll put the ball back at the 29 now. 2nd down and 5. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left, including the tight end. And now the officials working through some of those clock issues, going to hold play up here. And they're asking to turn the play clock off on the field because, it is down on one side. So they're going to keep the play clock on the field, and they've shut the functioning play clock off on the opposite side. 2nd down and 5 coming up for Wheeling once we're ready to play again, and now we are. Two receivers to each side, ball on the right hash. West Virginia State again shows pressure. They send four. Screen pass set up left side, bobbled by Green. He slips away from one defender, runs over another, and takes it down near first down yardage. Adrian Bowers got him to the ground, but man, did he take a hit in the process. Green all the way down to the 23-yard line will move the chains again. 8:30 on a running clock here in the fourth quarter. Wheeling driving to try to take the lead once again. Three receivers right, single left is Kaiser. Snap to Lutz, rolling to his right, looking to throw again. Chased by Harris, lobs this one towards the end zone, towards the back corner. It's bobbled and broken up by Amir Muhammad. Muhammad had a beat on that ball, nearly intercepted it as it was laid out for Solo Love. And Muhammad able to knock it away. Not able to hold on, though. 8:15 as the clock stops. Muhammad, the safety over top of that play. Darrell Fletcher on the coverage underneath. Lutz with three receivers right, one to the left. That's Rem. He gets the snap, hands it off for Stevie Mitchell, running off the left side. Keyshawn Washington meets him as he tries to turn the corner and drives him out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Gain of 1 to bring up 3rd down and 9. The run defense has been strong here for West Virginia State on this drive, but those penalties extending it so far for Wheeling. No gain on the play. They say Mitchell went out at the 23. Another 3rd down here for the West Virginia State defense. 20-17 the advantage. 7:50 on a rolling clock. 3rd down and 10 for Wheeling at the Yellow Jacket 23. Two receivers each side for Lutz, the running back. Mitchell to his right. He gets the snap and drops to throw. Lutz with plenty of time, stepping up, throwing pass deflected and incomplete. Keyshawn Washington got a hand on the football, nearly intercepted it, and now it'll be 4th down with the kick team coming on for Wheeling.
Broken up on the play by Washington.
Connor Fitzpatrick is 4 for 8 on field goal attempts this season. He's 1 for 1 today with a 21-yarder. This is going to be a 40-yard attempt. His long this season is 48. Jordan Kaiser, the holder on. The long snapper is Alex Tappan. This coming from the left hash. The snap back, the hold down, the kick is up. This is a low kick. It is pushed left, and it is no good. West Virginia State got pressure on the kick with Dante Harris, and Fitzpatrick pushed it left. West Virginia State stays ahead with 7:35 to go, and now there's an injured Yellow Jacket down on the play. Dante Harris got some push up the middle. Darrell Fletcher's the player down. He got into the backfield as well. And now he's come up a little bit slowly. Athletic training staff out to help with him. And during this break in the action, we'll take a timeout. 7:35 to go, fourth quarter. West Virginia State with a big defensive stop leading 2017. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Virginia State defense getting off the field on 3rd down and 10, and then the missed field goal attempt under pressure from West Virginia State. The Yellow Jackets pushing into the backfield with Dante Harris. Darrell Fletcher injured on the play, but a big part of forcing Connor Fitzpatrick to push that kick wide left. And now the Yellow Jackets have the football and a chance to take a 2-score lead with 7:35 to go here in Institute. West Virginia State and Wheeling in a dogfight here in the Mountain East Conference. These two teams tied for 2nd in the league right now, along with Frostburg State and Glenville State. All of these teams with one loss in the conference. Right now, Frostburg up 14-10 on Charleston. That game with 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Charleston leading the league, the last unbeaten in the conference. Caleb Jackson has the ball snapped over his head on the first play of the drive, and he has to dive on top of it at the 10-yard line. And West Virginia State going backwards with a loss of 13. Have had a few high snaps today from Logan Bartholomew. and a couple times this season that it's gone over Jackson's head, and that time it sailed. Second down and 23. Now coming from the 10-yard line. Devin Cox in the game at running back, 2 receivers to each side for West Virginia State. Cox offset to the left of the quarterback, Jackson, who claps his hands and gets the snap. State looking to throw. Screen pass set up. Right side caught by Mosley across the 10. Dances forward to the 15 and is brought down to the 17-yard line by Jalen Wheeler. Gain of 7 yards to bring up third down and 16 quickly here for West Virginia State after the bad snap. Now State has converted in third down and long situations a few times, but this is one of the longer ones they've dealt with. Third down and 15 officially from the 18-yard line. Got to get to the 33. 2 receivers either side working off the right hash. 6 men in the box for Wheeling. Jackson gets the snap. They only send 3. He's flushed out to his left. Jackson keeping his eyes downfield, throwing across his body towards the sticks. It falls incomplete in the Wheeling sideline. Amari Airy, the intended receiver, and now the punt team back out for West Virginia State. Yellowjackets go 3 and out, thanks in large part to that bad snap. And Alex Schrader will have to try to flip the field here with 6:10 to go. And the Yellowjackets leading 20-17.
Fourth down.
Special teams have been big in this game for West Virginia State, pinning Wheeling back deep a couple times in that first half. You've got the pressure on the field goal already, and Schrader has punted the ball pretty well today. And he'll be called upon to do it again. He stands at his own 4-yard line. Nazrem back at the Wheeling 40. Schrader gets this kick away, end over end towards the 45. It's bobbled, it's loose inside Wheeling territory. West Virginia State's Will Seitz trying to dive on top of it, but it looks like Wheeling recovers at the 38-yard line. Rem under pressure bobbled that football. It went back up over his head, and it appears that Tazion McQueen comes up with the recovery for Wheeling at the 38. Nearly a massive change there for West Virginia State. Will Seitz, the long snapper, right down on top of it, but McQueen able to roll over onto the football before he could get there. 5:59 to go in this fourth quarter. The ball down at the Wheeling 38-yard line. Lutz back out at quarterback with 2 receivers to each side, and Green, the running back, to his left. West Virginia State looking like it might send pressure. They bring 5. The snap to Lutz. He throws towards midfield. Caught along the left hash by Oberdick. Brought down by Lebecca. First down, Wheeling on a gain of 12.
Pass complete to Oberdick.
Colin Oberdick's been the favorite target so far of Landon Lutz since coming into the game. 6 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown for the redshirt junior. Quickly, the snap to Lutz. Lofts a pass left side for Omarion Taylor. He makes the grab behind the line of scrimmage and squirts forward along the sideline down to the 47 for a gain of 3. Adrian Bowers there on the stop for West Virginia State, and he comes up limping a bit.
Lebecca and
Bowers over to the sideline. Keyshawn Washington back in for the Jackets. Second down and 7, clock running, 5:15 to go. 2 receivers each side for Lutz off the left hash. Gets the snap. Handoff goes to Taylor. He's got a seam off the right side. Taylor undercut by Darrell Fletcher as he goes over the 45. Dives down near first down yardage. It's going to come down to the spot here. And they'll put it down at the 42, bringing up third down and 2. Likely 4-down territory here with Wheeling as we go under 5 minutes to play. 20-17, the West Virginia State lead. Lutz barking out the signals with 3 receivers right, a single to the left. Now we'll look over the sideline for a change in the play call. Lutz gets it signaled in, now ready to go. 4.5 minutes left in the game. Taylor, the running back, moves to his right. Third down and 2 from the 42. Lutz gets the snap, dropping to throw under pressure, looking deep down the right sideline, leaping and making the catch at the 15 as Kaiser flags out for pass interference. It doesn't matter because he caught it anyway. And Kaiser is going to come up limp on the play. He has to head over to the Wheeling sideline. Pass interference flagged against Amir Muhammad. But it's not going to matter because Kaiser went up the ladder and pulled it in. An absolute rope thrown by Lutz. And unless there's an offensive pass interference penalty here, which I can't imagine, it's going to be Wheeling football inside the 20. The officials did come together to try to figure out what was going on with the flags there. And it is offensive pass interference. with an offsetting penalty against West Virginia State. So offsetting penalties with the pass interference, against West Virginia State. And then a flag thrown against Wheeling is going to erase that catch. And it will stay third down with the offsetting flags. A chop block against Wheeling and the pass interference against West Virginia State. 3rd and 2. Lutz gets the snap. Handoff goes to Taylor. This play's blown dead. Wheeling moved early. Unless someone from Wheeling was drawn off, the false start's going to move them back 5 yards.
False start, offense, number 82. 5 yards, 3rd down.
The tight end Hoare got started early, and that is a costly penalty for Wheeling. A couple of costly penalties. First, the chop block that led to the offsetting flags on the first conversion, and now 3rd down and 2 tunes into 3rd and 7 at the 47. Clock running down to 4 minutes to play. West Virginia State leads 20-17. 2 receivers left, single to the right, tight end off to the left side as well. Lutz gets the snap, hands it off. This is Taylor with a seam over the right side. He's got the first down inside the 40, run out of bounds by DeLoach at the 39. Taylor cut back behind the right guard, Peyton Hoare, and was able to slide through, get down to the 39 before being shoved out of bounds.
First down Wheeling at the state 39.
First down Wheeling, a gain of 8 on 3rd down and 7 for O'Marion Taylor. Clock running now 3:40 after he's forced out of bounds. 1st and 10 at the 39. 2 receivers left for Lutz, who gets the snap, rolls that direction, cutting back inside, forced back by Gamel Smith, and he's brought down after a short gain on the scramble. Smith able to pull him in from behind, a gain of 2 more yards down to the 37. 2nd and 8 coming up. It was a designed bootleg left
Gain of 2. 2nd and 8 from
for Landon Lutz. Smith was there to set the edge, forced him inside, and was able to grab him after the short gain. Gadavatarn back in at tight end, lines up slot to the left. 2 receivers to that side, 2 to the right as well. Lutz sparking out the signals from the shotgun. 3 minutes to play. Gets the snap, again looking to throw. West Virginia State brings pressure. Lutz looking down the middle of the field. Open receiver, pass caught at the 12-yard line. Solo Love dragging a defender into the end zone. Scores to take the lead for Wheeling.
pass complete to Love. Touchdown Cardinals.
Solo Love found some space over the middle of the field. There was simply nobody there. Sean Russ, the last man to beat, and Love pulled him into the end zone to take the lead for Wheeling, 23-20 on a 37-yard touchdown pass from Landon Lutz. And now a timeout called for an injury to a Wheeling player. And there's some confusion here because Kaiser is the normal holder, and he had come off injured earlier on that drive, started out, and then had to go back to the sideline. So an interesting situation here. The punter, Brett Jackson's going to run on to hold this extra point. Jackson down. Fitzpatrick with a big extra point here to try to make this a 4-point game. The snap back, the hold down, the kick is up, and the kick from Fitzpatrick is good. 2:48 to go. West Virginia State trails for the first time today, 24-20. 37 yards, Landon Lutz to Solo Love to go ahead today. We'll step away. This is Yellow Jacket football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
48 to go, and West Virginia State trails for the first time today, 24-20. After a touchdown pass from Landon Lutz to Solo Love, 37 yards, capping off a 6-play, 62-yard drive in 3 minutes and 11 seconds. And now that 2-minute offense for State will be called upon to try to retake the lead. 24-20 as Connor Fitzpatrick tees it up at the 35-yard line. Devin Washington Back deep to receive for West Virginia State here on the kickoff. Fitzpatrick on the approach, boots this one away, end-over-end kick, helicoptering down into the end zone, and Washington will take it on a knee 2 yards deep and bring it out to the 20-yard line. West Virginia State takes the touchback, and it'll be the 25-yard line, that the Yellowjackets get the ball to start. 2:48 left in the game. We've seen this Jacket offense successfully run the 2-minute drill a number of times this season. Now, the most important one so far. Put the ball down on the right hash for quarterback Caleb Jackson. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Running back Devin Cox with him in the backfield. 3-man front coming out here for Wheeling. 6 men in total in the box. That includes the nickelback. Rather, that's an extra linebacker, Awolo Sanuga. Jackson gets the snap. Wheeling sends 3 with plenty of time. Jackson looking deep. Jackson has TJ Gregory breaking open downfield. He's knocked to the ground. Pass interference coming against J-Mo Walker. And West Virginia State will pick up 15 yards. Gregory had a step on his defender. Jackson laid it out for him, and they got their feet tangled. It's a defensive pass interference penalty that will move the ball up to the 40-yard line. 2:40 to go for West Virginia State, trailing by 4 points. A big play there. Jackson just laid it out for his big receiver, Gregory, and he was able to take the penalty. First down and 10 at the 40. 2 receivers to each side, working off the right hash is West Virginia State. Jackson in the gun, Wheeling creeping up, looking like it might send some pressure. He gets the snap, a short drop. Jackson still with time, looking to throw. Rolling to his right, sets his feet, fires to the sideline, caught by Gregory. He's shoved out of bounds at the 46, a gain of 6 yards. It'll bring up second down and 4. Clock stops with 2:32 to go. Forced out by Leonard Sherrod. They say he stepped out instead at the 45. And he say he went backwards going out of bounds, so the clock will continue to run. 2:25 to go. West Virginia State has all 3 timeouts, plus the 2-minute timeout coming up. Again, twin receivers to each side for the Yellowjackets. 7 men in the box here for Wheeling. Jackson barking out the signals on 2nd and 5. Clapson gets the snap, dropping to throw. Wheeling sends pressure. Jackson still with time. Jackson rolling left. Jackson has daylight. He'll go for a run over the 50, over the 45 in Wheeling territory. Crosses the 40 and takes it out of bounds at the 37. Stops the clock with 2:10 to go. Yellowjacket first down on the run by Caleb Jackson. Wheeling leading 24-20, but West Virginia State now down inside the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock moving down towards the 2-minute timeout. 3 seconds running now. 2 down to 1. Jackson not going to get the snap off before the 2-minute timeout. The whistle blows, and West Virginia State will head to the sideline. We'll take a timeout for the final time here in regulation. West Virginia State driving to try to retake the lead. Wheeling leads at 24-20. This is Yellowjacket football.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
State at the 37-yard line. Yellowjackets trailing for the first time today, 24-20, as we hit the 2-minute timeout here in the 4th quarter. Wheeling getting into the end zone on a Landon Lutz 37-yard touchdown pass to Solo Love. And now the Yellowjackets driving to try to retake the lead before time runs out. 3 receivers right, TJ Gregory, the single receiver left. Out of the break for West Virginia State, Devin Cox running back to the right of Caleb Jackson, who gets the snap. He hands it off for Cox. He's got a seam running behind left guard, squirts forward down to the 30-yard line, and falls forward to the 29. Nice pickup there by Cox, about 8 yards on 1st down and 10. Clock running for West Virginia State down to 1:45. 2nd down and 2. Coming up for the Jackets. Jackson quickly back to the line, gets the snap. Another handoff for Cox, bouncing outside over the left side. Down has the first down to the 25. Britannis Deska with the stop, but West Virginia State will get the clock stopped to move the chains here down at the 26. Jackson looking over to the sideline, under 90 seconds to play as the clock continues to run. West Virginia State has to go. Moving Gregory over to the right side. He lines up in the slot. 2 receivers to each side. Cox moves to the right of the quarterback, Jackson. 1:15 on the clock. First down and 10. Jackson gets the snap, dropping to throw under pressure. Steps up. Jackson looking downfield. Jackson throws back over the middle for Cox. He pulls it in at the 15-yard line. It bounced first. He trapped it. Jackson left the throw a little bit short. It stops the clock with 1:06 left. Second down and 10 coming here for West Virginia State. Cox had some room to work. Jackson just throwing across his body, couldn't get the ball there. So 1:06 left. The Yellowjackets trailing 24-20 here with the clock stopped. 3 receivers left. Gregory, the single to the right. Jackson gets the shotgun snap, looking to his left as he drops to throw. Jackson flushed out, looking to his right, firing towards the end zone. Gregory breaking open, comes back to the ball, and he dropped it. A little bit underthrown, and the defensive back closing in, J-Mo Walker, was able to do enough to force Gregory to put that ball on the ground. It'll be 3rd and 10. Jackson laid it out for Gregory to come back to the near corner of the end zone, and he couldn't hold on as Walker closed in. 58 seconds to play, 3rd and 10. Ball at the Wheeling 26-yard line. And again, this is 4-down territory. A field goal does nothing for you. Twin receivers to either side. Jackson out of the shotgun. Wheeling looking like it'll send pressure with 7 in the box. Gets the snap. Jackson dropping, sets up the screen. He's got Devin Cox right side. Cox running along the right hash. Tripped up, brought down at the 17-yard line. Close to first down yardage. It'll be 4th down. West Virginia State will have to use a timeout with 48 seconds to go. Nice open field tackle by Cameron Reynolds as Cox got upfield pretty quickly. It's a gain of 8 yards. It'll be 4th down and 2. Again, West Virginia State, you're going to be going for it here. Down by 4. Get nothing from a field goal. Now we'll see. Do you try to convert here and use another one of those timeouts? Or you try to throw something here down the field? 4th down and 2 for West Virginia State. This game went down to the wire last year as well. Yellowjackets trying to spike the ball to stop the clock with under 3 seconds left. And the NCAA rule is you can't spike the ball with under 3 seconds left. And that's how that game ended with a Wheeling victory last year. 49 seconds to go, 4th down and 2. West Virginia State brings 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Gregory. Ball on the right hash for Jackson. 4th down and 2 for the game. Devin Cox, the running back, left. Motion man right to left is Airy. Jackson gets the snap, hands it off. No, he keeps it up the middle. He is met and dropped for no gain. Turnover on downs, and West Virginia State gives it back to Wheeling with 46 seconds left. Caleb Jackson is stopped short on 4th down, and Wheeling will get the ball back, leading 24-20 with under a minute to go. Deion McIntosh in on the stop for Wheeling. And now with 2 timeouts and 46 seconds on the clock, there's not much left for West Virginia State to do. Ball at the 19-yard line for Wheeling. And Landon Lutz is going to lead this team back out here. Likely in the victory formation, having probably, I don't want to say probably, I don't want to put words in the mouth of head coach Zach Bruni, but certainly put something in the mind of this coaching staff as to who the starting quarterback will be for Wheeling next week. Gets the snap, goes to a knee. West Virginia State is going to use those timeouts and stop the clock here with 43 seconds to go. Yellowjackets led this game 17-0. Wheeling scored the next 17 to tie it. Tony Hornbuckle put West Virginia State ahead with a field goal. But the Lutz touchdown pass to Solo Love looking like it will stand as the difference in this game. Yellowjackets came out on fire to start this one, despite having their first drive stall. That led to a hornbuckle field goal, but still a 17-0 advantage in this game, slipping away by the midpoint of the third quarter. And now Wheeling just needing to kneel on the ball a couple of times. 2nd down and 12, 42 seconds on the clock. Lutz under center, gets the ball, goes to a knee. And West Virginia State, still with that timeout, is going to use it. A little bit of pushing and shoving there at the end of the play. But the officials able to get in between everybody. And again, the clock will stop with 38 seconds. Again, if this result holds, West Virginia State is going to go down as having outgained Wheeling 420 to 381. And is going to walk away a loser. Yellowjackets running for over 200 yards in this game. Big days for Devin Cox and Nashawn Hill, but not able to get that offense going in the second half. You look at the drive chart for West Virginia State after halftime, and it's not necessarily a pretty picture. A punt, a turnover on downs, the hornbuckle field goal, a punt and a turnover on downs. That last one, the run by Jackson on 4th and 2 that has given the ball back to Wheeling. And again, Lutz is really just going to have to kneel on this ball one more time. State can't stop the clock again. Lutz under center, gets the snap, drops to a knee, and that will do it here in Institute. Wheeling comes to Institute for the first time in program history and walks away with its 3rd consecutive win over West Virginia State. The final 20 seconds ticking off the clock as Wheeling will walk away with a 24-20 victory, coming from a 17-point deficit in the first half to knock off West Virginia State. Wheeling goes to 4-3 on the season. West Virginia State goes to 4-3 on the season. The Cardinals still with 1 defeat in conference play. West Virginia State with its 2nd loss in the Mountain East as this one hits triple zeros. 24-20 the final score. We'll be back to recap the action after this. This is West Virginia State football on 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
Snapped 24-20 the final score as Wheeling defeats the Yellowjackets here in Institute. We'll take a look at the final numbers before giving you our player and play of the game for West Virginia State. Overall, the Yellowjackets outgained Wheeling 420 to 380, 218 passing yards, 202 rushing yards. Wheeling with 224 passing yards, 156 on the ground. Wheeling 10 of 18 on 3rd downs after being 4 of 8 in the first half. Again, West Virginia State struggling to get off the field in that second half. Yellowjackets 7 of 16 on 3rd downs. And in the individual numbers, Caleb Jackson 14 of 28 for 218 yards and a touchdown. Devin Cox 14 carries for 86 yards to lead State. He also had 4 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. Nashawn Hill carried 14 times for 83 yards and a score. And in the receiving game, Amari Airy, 6 catches for 83 yards. Devin Washington, 1 catch for 11. TJ Gregory, 2 grabs for 23 yards. And Adrian Mosley, 1 catch for 8 yards. Landon Lutz came off the bench for Wheeling. Played the majority of the game after Ade Olanigan struggled to get the offense going early. Lutz, 20 of 36 for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the go-ahead score to Solo Love in the final minutes. Stevie Mitchell carried 12 times for 53 yards, 8 carries for 49 yards for Landon Lutz, the quarterback. Omarion Taylor, 5 carries for 34 yards. DeJuan Green, 8 touches for 22 yards. And Olanigan, 2 carries for 3 yards. The starting quarterback was also 2 of 4 for 28 yards passing. Colin Oberdick, 6 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. Kaiser with 5 catches for 64 yards. That's Jordan Kaiser for Wheeling. Landon Hoare, the tight end, 4 grabs for 21 yards. Love with 2 catches for 52 yards, including that touchdown. Alex Gadavatarn, the tight end, 2 catches for 19 yards. DeJuan Green, Stevie Mitchell, and Omarion Taylor, the running backs, each with 1 catch apiece. That is your look at the numbers here for West Virginia State. When we return, we'll give you the player of the game and play of the game before setting up what's next for the Yellowjackets. This is 107.3 The Beat.
Your whole health is more than what's on a chart in your doctor's office. That's why WellPoint has Medicaid plans that care for the whole you, with places that unlock potential. Care that speaks your language and comes to you on your terms. Medicaid from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
I will carry you through.
West Virginia State and Wheeling wrap this one up with Wheeling defeating the Yellowjackets 24-20. West Virginia State loses at home for the first time in 6 games and loses for the second time this year in Mountain East Conference play. Wheeling moves to 4-3 on the season. Yellowjackets 4-3 as well, but breaking that tie for second place in the conference as Wheeling still with 1 defeat in Mountain East play. West Virginia State with its second, now 2-2 in the league. Taking a look at the player and play of the game here for West Virginia State. The Go-Mart player of the game, give it to Devin Cox. 14 carries for 86 yards and 4 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. He's the leader there for West Virginia State in both rushing and receiving today. Freshman running back Devin Cox. And our Poca Valley play of the game, give it to Devin Cox as well. The 67-yard catch and run on the screen pass for West Virginia State made it a 17-0 game. That was the biggest lead for West Virginia State all day before Wheeling climbed back into it, erased that 17-0 deficit, and comes out with the win 24-20. That'll do it for us here at Dickerson Stadium in Institute. Wheeling again winning over West Virginia State 24-20. For my broadcast partner Matt Murphy and Jeff Petty at the controls in Charleston, I am Daniel Woods saying so long from Institute. This has been a presentation of West Virginia State University football on 107.3 The Beat.